Sorry, I'm trying to be very, like... Because again, I want to handle this the way God wants me to handle it. And that is where I'm not here to cast stones. We're all sinners. We've all made mistakes, but... I've just been really, like, trying to meditate on the fact, like, you know, Jesus tells us to turn the other cheek, but he also was there to flip tables sometimes. And I've been really trying to ask God, at what point do I turn the other cheek, and at what point do I flip a table? Because I'm really hurt, and the reality is I'm not the only one that was hurt in this situation. And the fact that it's not being talked about is really, really painful.
Today we're going to talk about, again, another very crazy Christian drama in the VTuber space. What's kind of sad about this is because I don't really like talking about drama when it involves Christian individuals. You know, as a Christian myself, I see drama within a religious sect as something that is kind of sad, or something that should be discouraged, I guess you could say. But there really isn't a whole lot you can do about it when, you know, we live in a world where people are people and they can do whatever they can do. The thing that's also really sad about this is the individual that we'll be talking about today, I have already covered in a previous live stream on my channel. So if you're very interested in looking back on the previous drama that this individual did, it is over on my live streams tab. I'll be briefly going over again today the drama that the individual in question went through, because it is kind of important, but I just wanted to put that out there for anybody that would be interested. Thank you.
Don't forget to remind chat to pray for Jelly and refrain from harassing her on stream.
Yes.
God bless.
Very much so. I agree. This is an open thing for me to remind everybody that we are going to be talking about very dumb drama. All right, very non-Christian behavior-esque drama. And maybe that's a very insulting thing for me to say about another Christian, but at the end of the day, I look at the drama and I say to myself, where's the Christ? Where's your Christ when you're engaging in all of this kind of stuff? But, you know, is whatever. But the topic, the individual we're going to be talking about today is a woman named Jelly Stara. As again, I've already mentioned, I've talked about her previously. Her previous drama, actually, before we talk about the previous drama, we need to introduce the stars of the show today, or the individuals that we'll be going through today, because I feel like that's really important. So first off, this is Jelly Stara. She is a jellyfish VTuber. Now you might notice she has me blocked, and the reason why she has me blocked is because she found out that I talked about her previously. I was told by Celestium that she really did not like, and by she I mean Jelly, she really did not like the comments that I said about her, and she really did not like the comments that I previously said, not just me, but the comments that was said by my Native American friend Sparky, who often sometimes comes in, and either people really love what Sparky says or really hate what Sparky says on a day. People either love or hate what Sparky says on a day-to-day basis. But Jelly did not like what I had to say. And what did I have to say? Well, so she got into a drama, her and her boyfriend, King. My apologies, I didn't mean to stay scrolled down there. But her and her boyfriend, I believe husband, King, got into a drama with another content creator named Sylent Bell. Now, Sylent Bell is a much bigger content creator in the Christian VTuber sphere, who like had kind of a coming to God moment and decided to switch up to more Christian related content in the more coming years. Well, what happened is Jelly decided to accuse Sylent Bell of copying her. And I already talked about this previously, but I'm going to reiterate it for the people that are probably listening to this for the first time. And what ended up happening is Jelly would make a Google document, I believe. Yeah, so this is the Google document right here. I'm not going to reread it again because it is 90 pages. If you are interested in me reading it, go to my previous stream. But to give you some brief, like, Cliff's Notes for this, the entire Google Doc, which is 92 pages long, is a lot of her alleging that Sylent Bell, with no real tangible evidence, was copying Jelly in her posts that she would make and the things that she would do. She alleged that she stole memes, which For those that need to know it, you cannot steal memes. In the realm of memes existing, you cannot steal a meme. You can see somebody else's meme and say to yourself, you know, that's a really good meme. I'm going to do it my way, you know? But you cannot say that somebody stole a meme, because inherently, by a meme existing on the internet, you probably took the idea for the meme from somebody else. Now, you can say that you're upset, I guess, that somebody else posted a meme after seeing you post it. By the same token, I think you're a little bitch if you're upset that somebody saw your meme and said, that's a funny meme, I'm going to do it my way. Now, Sylent Bell kind of disagrees with the idea that she, quote unquote, stole memes from Jelly, but like, Jelly's a big portion of Jelly's whole thing is just saying that she had a lot of her content stolen from her. And again, when it comes to the memes, I disagree with that. When it comes to formatting of videos, I also disagree with that, because the way that Jelly formats her videos, the way that Jelly does her content is the way that, spoiler alert, a lot of people do their content these days, and everybody is unoriginal with that kind of front. So she's also wrong. Thank you.
Is that so? I'll say it again then. And that was me being nice, by the way, LMAO.
Yeah, Sparky, you're kind of banned from... Sparky, I will say, I told some people you would not be allowed in the stream today because of your meanness. Anyway, one of the other things that Jelly alleged is that Sylent Bell like took ideas for videos, and it, again, when I reviewed them on stream, I looked at them and I was like, I don't agree that Sylent Bell took these videos and
user, for the follow.
Just like hand for hand copied them. Now, Sylent Bell did admit that she took inspiration from some of the things that sorry, these women are going to get confusing. My apologies. Some of these, excuse me. Let me start over. Jelly, the things that Jelly is alleging, I just don't agree with. Like, hands down, I don't agree with. But that was like the main thing of the Google Doc, is that she stole concepts and ideas and things, which, you know, at the end of the day, I think everybody here is adults enough to look at things and say, yeah, that's kind of cringe, that's kind of gay, that's kind of dumb, in my personal opinion, and you should just get over it. It's also really crazy to see a Christian VTuber, and by the way, I'm not going to try and get up on my high horse when I say this, but it's really crazy to see a Christian VTuber, somebody that says they are of God, try and do this kind of thing where they're calling out somebody else for this kind of theft, when in my personal opinion, even if you felt like this, what you're doing is not helpful. And what's you might say, did Jelly even talk to Sylent Bell when all of this happened? And she kind of did. She kind of did. There was a small DM exchange where Jelly was openly accusing Sylent Bell of copying, and basically Sylent Bell's like, no, I'm not doing that. I said I was inspired by you, but I'm not doing that. And then Bell just decided to not deal with it anymore. Now, could there have been better conflict resolution? Probably. Could Sylent Bell and her probably could have talked this through a lot better? Yes. But like, if somebody is coming to me and saying, you're stealing my content, you're copying me, you're doing this, this, and this, I'm going to be honest with you. If I know I'm not copying them and I told them I'm not doing that, I'm just doing this, this, and this, and then they're still annoying, I can kind of understand where Sylent Bell is coming from, where she's just like, I don't want to deal with this person anymore. They're kind of annoying or they're kind of dumb. But like, that's my personal opinion. Again, could Sylent Bell have like maybe given a little bit more to try and do better conflict resolution or talk to Jelly about this? Probably. But because of how insane Jelly is, and you will see some more of that as time goes on here, you'll probably like be on the side of maybe Jelly should have just like, or excuse me, maybe Sylent was like more within her rights to just walk away from that. In addition to half of the Google Doc being about, oh, she stole content from me, Jelly goes into this almost schizophrenic tirade. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, legitimately. And I'm trying to be nice here, chat. I'm putting on kid gloves, but I'm going to get mean a little bit later. I apologize. But like, Jelly goes into, like, the second half of this doc goes into her going into a rant and like alleging that Sylent Bell is employing mods that like got into drama with Sylent Belle herself to use against Jelly to try and make Jelly look like a bad person. And not just Jelly, but Jelly's boyfriend. Now, on the topic of Jelly's boyfriend, who is King. This is King. This is her boyfriend. Say hello, King. In my personal opinion, Jelly's boyfriend doesn't need anybody to make him look bad. In my personal opinion, he makes himself look bad on his own with his vague posting and what he says on his timeline. But then again, funny enough, a lot of Christian VTubers do this weird vague posting shit. Is just like they I just don't like it when they do it. But like King is also somebody that is really bad with this. In fact, his most recent like tweet right here is a vague post for the most recent drama that we're going to talk about here. I thought he left the internet. No, King did not leave the internet. I will also say, I don't know what this post is about right here. This post was on the 21st, so about 5 days ago as of the recording of this stream. And I believe that that was kind of around when the drama that we're going to talk about today was taking place. But he posts a picture of himself with his firearms. And, you know, we're all Second Amendment people here. I think everybody here is okay with firearms. But he posts this picture here and saying, people are still chronically online and angry here. I'm glad nothing has changed. Now, I don't, like, listen, I am fine. Like, I personally don't believe in posting pictures of guns because I don't want the government, I don't want Uncle Sam to know what I have because that is my right as somebody that owns firearms to keep it as private as possible. So I don't believe in posting pictures of firearms. But even regardless, I don't know why you would say people are being chronically online and then just posting pictures of your firearms. Like, why would you do that, man? Why would you come out here when you know that there is a heated situation where your girlfriend is already being crazy, acting psychotic with this Google Doc she's made and trying to throw the blame on other people and trying to cancel other people, which we'll get to, by the way, and you go ahead and post a picture of your firearms. Nice looking firearms, by the way. Pretty neat ones. Why would you do that? I think that's dumb. I think this is the dumbest, most retarded thing you could ever do. Because it definitely sends the message that you're definitely still upset. And if you're not upset, why would you post these kinds of pictures, man? Like, I understand. Like, I don't know if this man is in the army or he says that he's on training or after he's done training. My assumption is that he's done with some sort of like combat training. And if that's the case, cool. But why would you include chronically online people are upset at you still and then post a picture like this? It's just like, I feel like you don't know how to tone yourself a little bit. My personal opinion. Okay? And he might not even be trying to say anything here. Or he might be. Who knows? It's up for him to answer if he really wants to. But this is a bad tonal thing to make. All right, my Mansky, I'm just telling you right now. Probably shouldn't do this. Personal opinion. Ugh. But anyway. So, going back to this. She puts out this Google Doc. And again, it's 92 pages of nothing. Like, if you read the entire thing, and again, I read the entire thing on a previous live stream. You can go watch the previous live stream. It will be linked in the description for those that want to go watch it after the fact. But, like, this entire Google Doc is nothing. Literally nothing. The copying allegations, nothing. The allegations that Sylent Belle is somehow trying to take down Jelly Stara with mods that previously did stupid stuff to Sylent Belle but now are on her side, nothing. It is a whole lot of a woman that is terrified of something that she is choosing instead of going to the other individual and talking out. She is choosing to just let these feelings and thoughts fester inside her head. And it's actually really sad to see that, considering that she claims that she's got some previous mental hangups or problems that she's had in the past. I've also, a lot of people have also told me a lot of things about Jelly and some alleged stuff that happened in when she used to live with her parents. And I'm not going to get into any of that, but like after like doing some more in-depth research on both this Google Doc and Jelly herself, I really just see a mentally ill woman that is not being reined in, which is really sad to say. Again, because she has a significant other, all right? This is her significant other here, and her significant other needs to be able to look at Jelly and say, you know, I think you're a little bit terminally online right now, woman. How about you put down Twitter and you go listen to some Jesus, all right? That's what you would hope than a man that is tied to a woman that sounds like she's got some things going on would do. But no, he's actually playing into it. And I'll show off a little bit of that as well, because he does play into it, and he does play, like, he does, like, dig in there, and he helps her and does things. In fact, in this Google Doc, you will actually see there are times where he actively adds to the Google Doc. Allegedly. Because I don't personally believe that this is actually him. Just like it's kind of hard to believe that when Cinder posted Red Zone thoughts, you can agree or disagree that that was Red Zone thoughts or just her own thoughts with like his thought process he's led into it. But this, like, he feeds into it as well. And that is like, I don't like that. I don't really like that, because you should not be feeding into this woman's, like, insanity. You need to sit her down and say, get off of the internet. Okay? Now, again, that's just a basic retelling of everything that happened with Sylent Bell. We'll get into Nyana, because Nyana is unfortunately included in this, and I have to chastise Nyana a little bit with this here, and it's really unfortunate. But that's basically, like, the previous drama. To give you, like, a brief TLDR of the previous drama that happened, all right? Jelly writes this Google Doc on Sylent Bell. I think it is completely meritless. King, Jelly's boyfriend, plays into it and unfortunately is not reining his girlfriend in, and it leads to this event where Jelly is whining on the internet that she's being attacked and all this kind of shit. In fact, where is it? Here it is. Okay, yeah, here it is. So here is the original post that she makes where she is posting about this. Excuse me. Where she's just, like, terrified. She's terrified of Sylent Bell. And Sylent Bell, like, if I remember correctly, she was, like, terrified that Sylent Bell's mods were trying to siphon people away from her Discord server. And the end result of this is that she kind of wins, because a lot of people kind of take Jelly's side. Kind of. And I say kind of because it really is a mixed bag. Excuse me. I've been told that, like, Sylent Bell kind of lost some people. I don't know if it was, like, a big significant thing or if it was just, like, some people decided to move away. And that always kind of happens when you've got a drama where two people are conflicting. People are going to choose sides. They're going to say one person is more right than the other, even though one situation is way more cutthroat than the other. I've covered many dramas where that's been the case, and you guys have watched that, so you know how it go. But Jelly kind of, like, just gets away with it. And one of the things that kind of annoys me about all of this is one of the individuals that ends up commenting underneath this post. This was something that I actually, when listening back to my original stream, remembered. Is look at who is commenting underneath this post. You guys know who this is? This is Nyabyss. Now, her account is locked because she's a graduated VTuber. You guys might remember that Nyabyss used to be Nyana Banana, who is the Banana Cat VTuber that went to become part of Face Connect, had issues inside Face Connect, and decided that she was going to graduate and go back to her old life so that she could do her old thing. And there's a lot of speculation as to why she decided to leave Face Connect or quit. By the way. She quit. It was confirmed that she quit, by the way. But, like, she left Face Connect. And this always kind of just, like, bothered me. Because if any rational, normal human being read the 92-page Google Doc here, all right? If you read through this entire thing, like I did, you would say to yourself, this is a nothing burger. You need to be an adult. You need to contact this woman. You need to get in touch with her. And you need to say, please, can we talk about this? Or talk this out, because it's very obvious that there are things that we need to address, you know? But, like, it always kind of bothered me that Nyana, also known as Nyabyss, took the side, or from this, took the side of Jelly Stara. And that's kind of what leads into the drama that happened today. Give me just... excuse me. Before I get to that, one other thing that I felt like was worth showing off here is how King kind of, like, talked to Sylent Bell. Because what ends up happening is this Google Doc goes out, and Sylent Bell, who was on a social media break, that's an important thing to put in there. This Google Doc goes out while Sylent Bell is on vacation on a social media break. All right, which is a pretty insane thing to do, by the way. I think it's actually kind of dumb, really retarded for you to put, and this, by the way, you know this happens all the time. You know, some of the most catty women that you can think of in the VTubing sphere, they will put out a Google Doc, or they will put out some kind of call out when the person that they are calling out is on an incredible back foot, when they're unable to respond to something. With Cinder, it happened when it was during the middle of the night when Cinder was busy or supposed to be asleep. Thankfully, Cinder was awake, so she kind of already knew what was going on. And with Jelly, she did it when Sylent Bell was on a vacation or a social media break. So she decided that she would post this out while Sylent Bell was unable to respond, unable to do anything. And so Sylent Bell was kind of forced, literally forced to take that break and respond to this right afterwards. And the response is that she posts a Google Drive, which is still up right now if you want to view it. She posts a Google Drive with, excuse me. She posts a Google Drive with all of the content that you need to see and all of the stuff that, like, refutes, in my personal opinion, everything that Jelly is saying, including all of the DMs between her and Jelly, and shows off some good examples of things that, like, just kind of, like, puts Jelly's, like, thievery comments to the dust, in my personal opinion. And what's really funny is a bigger responder to this is King. And King is just, like, going on the offensive and, like, whining and bitching and moaning about all this kind of shit. And it's honestly just, it kind of makes me wonder more about the boyfriend. I don't know. He's one of these individuals. Speaking of which, I was told he doesn't like me. Well, I don't like you very much either, buddy. After hearing more of how you act in the behind the scenes, I don't like this man very much either, because he allegedly has been very rude towards multiple other women. But, like, it's just really weird. But that's in the past. What has been happening recently? Well, what has been happening recently involves two more individuals. One of them, again, is Nyana Banana, who has come back to streaming, and it also involves a new third party, the girl Miki, who is an Angel Shark VTuber. Now, where does Miki fit into all of this, and why is she a party? So this is Miki. She is an Angel Shark VTuber. The story behind everything that went on with her is really sad and unfortunate. And there is a live stream of hers that we'll probably not get to in this bit right here. But there is a live stream of hers where she talks about her experience of what happened. Because what ends up happening is... Here, let me jump forward here. This is all of the beforehand stuff here. What ends up happening is once Nyana comes back to streaming, because Nyana joins FaZe... Nyana joins FaZe, she leaves FaZe, she quits FaZe for whatever reason. We don't actually know all of the reasons, but she comes into FaZe and then she leaves FaZe. And immediately she starts a VTuber group called Wings of Grace. And the idea behind Wings of Grace is that it's a VTuber group with girls that want to talk about Christ. They want to do Bible studies. They also want to sing and do collaborations with each other. And this sets off some red flags. And I will tell you, I don't think it was directly the day that I saw this, but, like, I will tell you, the moment I saw this, I had an immediate red flag in my head. Because, again, I was reminded of this, where Nyana had already voiced support for Jelly through this bullshit Google Doc that had zero merit, in my personal opinion. And now she is starting a VTuber group with Jelly and this third unknown party, Miki. So in my head, I was just like, where is this going to go? What is going to happen with all of this? And eventually the group has their first stream. We're not going to review the stream because it is a long boy stream. But they eventually come together and have a stream, and their first stream is them doing a sort of like confessional sin where you submit your sins to these women and they are going to read your sins out on stream. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. And again, I want to make a note. I am not a perfect Christian by any stretch of the imagination. 100%. I am not a good Christian by any stretch of the imagination. But let me just tell you, having a live stream where the main goal is for you to look over somebody confessing their sins to you is extremely irreverent, in my personal opinion. Extremely irreverent, and kind of, it's legitimately, I don't know, irreverent is really the only way I can say it. And the reason why I think it's extremely irreverent is when it comes to the world of sin, at least in the world of Christianity, you do not confess your sins to a wide audience of people to be degraded upon. Unless it's a fetish, and I'm not going to say it was for, it definitely wasn't for Miki. The way that I listened to, because I listened to her stream, it definitely wasn't a fetish for her. I have no idea if it was for any of the other girls, but like, confessing your sins is not like, it's not a reverent thing to confess your sins like this kind of thing. Like, I know that it's like one of those things where some streamers do it. I know that Shiori does it. Somebody in the chat pointed out that Shiori does it. But this is not like a Christian thing that like most Christians do. And the reason is because when it comes to the realm of Christianity and the realm of like sin and calculating sin, that's not something that you need to share with the rest of the world. That is something that you share with God. And the only time that you share your sins with any other human is if you need to go to your priest or bishop and confess that you did something serious. And there's a couple of sins that you can go to your priest or bishop and say, I have done this thing and I need your help to get back on track. As a Mormon, there's actually quite a few things that you would go to your bishop for. But for the most part, if it's something dumb or gay or little, it's between you and God. And so like this is, it is really confusing to see a stream, because again, like, if you want to do this as a joke, if you want to do this for fun, if you want to like, you want to have fun with your channel, that kind of stuff, that's cool. That's completely fine. Again, like Shiori does it, and Shiori is one of those kind of streamers where I feel that's very on brand for her. I don't watch her, but I know that it's very on brand for Shiori to do that kind of stuff. But like, if you're a Christian trying to do serious, because again, like doing confessional streams like that is very unserious Christian-esque content, if that makes sense, you know? But if you want to be serious and do serious Christian content, you're not going to go out there and try and get people confessing to their sins to you seriously on stream. Because like, at the end of the day, it's not going to be serious. It's definitely not going to be serious. And so I think that like, I don't know, I don't like this by any way, shape, or form. You know, that's just my personal opinion. Now that people have brought up that I say that a lot, I'm gonna hear it myself say it a lot. So they do this stream. Shortly after this stream, Nyana makes this post. Post was made 5 days ago. And Nyana says, looking for more Christian VTubers that want to be part of Wings of Grace, a VTuber group that does faith-based streams together and music. And then she also clarifies that she's looking for girls. Oh. And you might think to yourself, hang on a moment. If you're doing, because like, and you might think, if she's saying, oh, I'm looking for more streamers, you might think, oh, that's great. They got 3 people in there already. And here, let me see if I can bring up the original post here. They got 3 people in there already, and Nyana's saying they're looking for more people. Great. Fantastic. Now, I commented under this and said anything with Jelly is to be suspect, but you know, in my thought process, I was like, oh, that's cool. It's great that they're bringing in more people. You know, they've got all 3 of them right here. That's great. They're going to bring in a 3rd. No. See, here's the part where this gets deceptive, and I need to, I legitimately am looking for Nyana to like get some answers on this. Now, obviously, I don't think that you should harass Nyana for answers. I don't think you should like be rude to Nyana. But legitimately, I need to know what her involvement is on this, because at this point, Miki is gone from the VTuber group. She is no longer in there.
Occo,
thank you.
This whole thing can described in one word: women. Sips strawberry cream Dr. Pepper.
No, very accurate. Very accurate. You're probably going to say that a lot. But at the point where she's making this post, and it is not mentioned anywhere. It is not mentioned anywhere on Nyana's page. It is not mentioned on, and now, to be frank, Miki didn't say it until the stream that she did. And it is not even mentioned by Jelly. But at this point, Miki has left the VTuber group. She is no longer in. Wings of Grace no longer has her in it. She is gone. Which is insane, because this streamer group lasted for 14 days. And it's just like, why are you not mentioning that Miki is no longer in there? Probably because there is some issues with Miki being gone, basically. Now, what ends up happening is Miki ends up doing a live stream. Is it going to load? Yeah. Okay, pause. We're not going to start you off there. Miki ends up doing a live stream. It is a 3.5-hour live stream. Here, we're just going to pause you right there. It's a 3.5-hour live stream. We're not going to watch the whole thing, because we don't need to watch the whole thing. I watched the whole thing. I got some good timestamps for you so that we can timestamp it down. But Miki ends up doing an entire live stream explaining what happened. Now, I should tell you guys, just keeping open transparency here, I knew this was coming. I also knew why Miki left the group, by the way, after I saw this post come out. Because this, just to give you some behind-the-scenes info, this post comes out, and I approach the people that I know that are surrounding this situation, including Belle, Celestium, and eventually Miki. And I'm like, what happened? And they're like, wait for the live stream to come out. Wait for the live stream to come out. But like, there was some issues. There was some stuff that was going on, and I was like, okay. So I see this, and I'm immediately like, there are red flags going on right now. Because they're not mentioning that the new member, Miki, is gone, and that's a problem, because that means that they don't have faith that whatever they have to say will look good for them and look good to the other people that's around them. And in fact, what's funny is, I don't even think a lot of people under this post know that Miki is gone. I don't think a lot of the people under this post know that Miki is gone or why she is gone. And that's a problem for me. It's a problem that there is no honesty with Nyana to tell individuals that she is gone and that she is no longer part of the group. And has been, by the way, I don't have a picture to pull up of this, but like really soon after that she was removed from the group, they edited her out really quickly. Because this art was done. I don't know if Nyana drew this or if Nyana had somebody else drew this. But like really quickly after Miki left, she was like within minutes removed from this picture right here, which tells me, or what should tell you, that either they were expecting this or that they were ready to replace in case something happened. There's still people asking Miki when her next collab is. Yes. Yes. Now, I will say, my hope with this stream today is to not really spread awareness. I don't really want to spread awareness with what I'm sharing here. But my hope is for people to kind of like see and understand the pitfalls of some of these people. And also to be aware of some of the mean girl behavior that's going on. Now, I don't necessarily ascribe malice to Nyana. I know that Nyana has gone through a lot during the past year, especially when it came with her and FaZe and with some personal stuff that happened with her in real life. I'm not going to litigate that. I'm not going to bring that up. That's her private life, and I'm not really one of those kinds of individuals. But I'm definitely upset with how Jelly has acted. Jelly has definitely acted like a malicious individual. She's definitely been very unwilling to talk and give any sort of like good faith, and I don't feel like there should be any good faith given to Jelly, period, because she has not acted like an individual that is deserving of any good faith, at least by me. And the fact that she was unwilling to talk to me, or at least unwilling to give her side, and I had to opine her side through a Google Doc, and then she blocked me, that just tells me that, again, she's not willing to have good faith conversations and talk her things out. And I can only assume malice because of how Jelly has decided to act. So yeah, that's kind of like the preamble for everything that's going on here. Is you have this woman named Jelly who creates this drama where she's trying to claim that she is the victim of a bunch of things. She's not. Just throwing that out there. She's not the victim of any of this stuff. It's all in her head, and her boyfriend is perpetuating and refusing to bring her back down to earth, either because he doesn't want to or he doesn't have the capacity to understand why he should. And she's destroying relationships and destroying things around her. And unfortunately, right now, at the very least, Nyana doesn't seem to care to want to fix it herself. And that's unfortunate. Have I seen the video where she explains why she ran away from home? I have not seen that video, but I know that she is like, according to herself, and I'm sorry if I don't believe, but I have trouble believing people without solid evidence. But she claims that she was abused when she was young, and that she was rescued when she was like 18 or 19 by King, who was much older than her. Now, she could very well have been abused when she was young, and I'm not going to like degrade or say that her experiences are worth less than any other individual. With that in mind, I don't think that you being an abused individual should take away from your own like experiences and how you treat people. All right, because like here's the thing. I was abused when I was young. I went through some psychological and physical abuse when I was young. Does that mean that I can be an abusive person? Does that give me the right? All right, is Jelly saying that because she was abused when she was young, does that give her the right to be abusive to other individuals, to not learn how to be a normal, functioning human being, living adult? Does that mean that she's not allowed, that she can just be whatever the fuck she wants to be because she was hurt when she was young by her parents? No, that does not. In fact, it means that she should have better experiences so that she can better be an adult that would allow her to move on. Now, and again, here's what I'll say also about this. If you're telling me that you are unable to control yourself because of the damage that you had when you were young, and there are some people that are like that. You aren't able to control yourself and you've got mental problems or physical problems because when you were young and you can't control yourself, okay, that's fine. But guess what, Jelly? I don't want you on the internet then. And I've long maintained that if you have problems that you cannot contain and there are other people that are suffering, then you need to have things taken away so that you're not hurting other individuals. And is that cruel for me to say? Sure. But I don't care, because you're not a normal, functioning human adult. So you can't have it both ways. Either you're a normal, functioning human adult that needs to get over it and be a normal, functioning human adult, or you're a broken, non-functioning human adult and your internet access needs to be taken away and you shouldn't be allowed to do anything on the internet. Her church should be setting her straight. Well, her church probably doesn't know what's going on, and her boyfriend, who should be the one there to step in and say, you need to stop, this is wrong, her boyfriend is not doing that. So the only way her church can step in is if her boyfriend or people around her figure out what's going on and tell her. Your mental illness is still your responsibility? Yes. And if Jelly wants to claim that her mental illness is what's forcing her to be like this, get it fixed in therapy, woman. You have no excuse. No excuse. Get it fixed in therapy. There are plenty of resources for you to seek out some form of therapy. Either the government will pay for it, or you can pay for it, or your insurance will pay for it. But there are resources for you to go to, and it is no fucking excuse for you to treat people the way that you treat them because of your mental illness. Okay? If that's what I got told by people when I was having issues when I was a young adult, that's what I will tell you. All right? As somebody who moved past it. What's the age gap between her and her BF? I think her BF was 20s. This is, I don't actually know this for a fact. This was what I was told, so it could be wrong. I believe she was 18 when she ran away, and her boyfriend was like 20s or something like that. Now I don't know. Now obviously, here's the thing. All right, I know all of you are immediately gonna say, "Oh my gosh, was she groomed?" I don't know. I don't really care. Well, I mean, I do kind of care, but like, that doesn't really matter now. Unless there are any more, I mean, that's obviously a red flag to me, but like, unless there are other red flags, like if he talked to her when she was massively young, then yeah, that's a bit of a problem to me. But like, she shouldn't have a boyfriend to begin with as a Christian. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know how you court somebody when you're a Christian if you don't have a boyfriend. Anyway. It is my understanding that she was 18 and he was in his 20s when they met. That's not really a cause for concern unless like they knew each other and were like having some form of activity when she was underage and he was over the age. But like I don't really care that much. Anyway, I don't really care about that. What I do care about is how she is acting as an individual right now. And with that in mind, we'll move on again to the live stream. Because, as I've said, just as a brief recap for people, you have this girl named Miki who joins Wings of Grace. And I will front load this just a little bit by saying Miki is also a newer VTuber. Miki started becoming a VTuber in February. She started streaming back then. She's got a decent following right now. I believe she's a Twitch partner or close to being a Twitch partner now. But she is a newer VTuber. And so because she's a newer VTuber, she's less ingrained into the realm of VTubers than others. As we go through this live stream, then again, I've chopped out bits and pieces of here. It will become very apparent to you just how young of a VTuber Miki is. And I'm not saying young is in age. I'm saying young is in she has no idea the realm she lives in. I will tell you, Miki had no idea who Nyana is. Miki didn't know who Jelly was. Miki was just a content creator making content. Wings of Grace was her first attempt at making friends in the VTuber space. It failed, but like, she had no idea who Nyana was. She had no idea. I'm going to say she probably had no idea who Phase Connect was. She had no idea of Jelly's previous drama. She was in the dark. Basically, she was blind to everything that went on. And she was put into this. And so as we go through the live stream, just remember that. I will also say that I do have some critiques and criticisms for Miki as an individual. Number one, this isn't really like to be mean or anything. Her alerts and music are on during this entire thing. It is just a little bit annoying, but you know what? It doesn't really matter that much in my personal opinion. That's just something that like, you know, when you're talking about something serious, I personally would turn them off. She does do her best to turn them off, but like, just saying. In addition to that, I will say one of my biggest criticisms for Miki is, in the future, be more careful who you decide to make your friends with. This is always something that I say to every individual. I mean, I did say this to Celestium. When you make friends in the online sphere, remember that there is no such thing as friends in the online sphere. Even if somebody is as quaint as to say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian in the VTuber sphere, you should always take it with a grain of salt. You should understand that even if somebody says something, you need to keep a realm of discernment about you and recognize that there are snakes in the grass that will try to harm you and will try and do things against you. And you should make sure to steel yourself just in case those snakes try to harm you. Thank you for the 2. That explains a lot of recant past criticisms. You're fine, Sparky. I appreciate that. And so those are just some things to keep in mind. She's a young VTuber in the VTuber space. She knows next to nobody in the VTuber space. She had no idea who Nyana was before she jumped into this. That's like, again, my biggest criticism is you should know who you're about to stream with. You should not just jump into something because somebody has a cross in their bio and says that they follow Christ. All right, just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there for you guys to keep in. So with that in mind, we're gonna start here. It's gonna be a little hard for me to scroll because it is a 3-hour stream, and I have some timestamps. Chat, I have timestamps. I have timestamps here for us to go through, and I'm very excited to go through them. Like I said, I'm going to jump around through some of these. I have quite a few timestamps. Some of them are going to be longer than others, but we'll just go through here.
Kind of awkward to be here.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to turn the playback speed to 1.25. I'm actually going to pause my music here as well. I hope there's no copyrighted music. I forgot to ask about that, but I don't believe there is any copyrighted music. Oh, by the way, she does play a lot of loud, boisterous music. And again, that's another criticism I kind of have, where it's just like, when you're talking about something serious, I wouldn't play loud, boisterous music. To be fair, if you're going to talk about something serious, being a VTuber is like kind of unserious, in my personal opinion. It's like throwing a baby into the deep end to swim. Yes. Like, it is kind of unserious to like talk about drama in general. Like drama that you're involved in, excuse me. And just like be on screen, because it is kind of unserious. I get that. Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody remembers when Bao the Whale would do that kind of stuff. But like, my main criticism is just when you're talking about something serious, maybe just don't put on the loud, boisterous Undertale-esque music, because it kind of ruins some of the seriousness. And I don't think that's intentional. Now, I'm being very nice and kind, but I don't think it's intentional that like that's the case. I'm just saying that because yeah. Just saying that because yeah.
If I sound rough, it's because I've been low-key crying on and off for like 2 hours now, but we're gonna talk about—
She, by the way, she'll mention that a few times. She'll mention quite a few times that she's been crying off and on about this. This will be the first. I'm gonna try and cut out a lot of the other times that she does that, but one thing about her is she does repeat herself quite a bit. That she has cried a whole lot and that she has lost weight because of this drama.
About what's been up.
She's a cute avatar. She does.
And what's been really bothering me for a couple of days, because I feel like it's something that needs to be said, and it's something that needs to be said publicly. And I've been praying about things for several days now on how to address what I'm feeling and the situation. And I've been doing a lot of crying, guys. Like, you want to know something stupid? I've lost like 8 pounds in the last 3 days because I'm legitimately so upset about—
If that's the case, I do actually feel for her. Now we're gonna jump ahead. I just wanted to make sure that I just wanted to give everybody kind of like a preamble for this here. Let me jump to the next timestamp. But in the opening here, and I already mentioned previously what happened. What happened is she's gone from— she's not in the VTuber group anymore. Just to like throw that out there. But yeah, so like the big thing of what is she crying over? She's no longer in the VTuber group. Okay, cool. Well, let's jump to the next timestamp for her to kind of talk about that here. So we're gonna jump to 4:30 or close to 4:30.
I mentioned to you guys, and some of you might have noticed I'm not in the group anymore, and there's a reason for that. And I know over the last few days I have been trying to tell everyone that, you know, God wanted me to go a different direction, and that's true, but it's not the whole story. And I've been really trying to be the bigger person here. But again, the truth is I'm really, really hurt right now by a lot of things. And I'm
Didn't she make the group? Yeah, she was in the group. Yes. That's the thing that's kind of insane. Here, I'll bring this back up for people that might need to see a refresher. This was on the 12th of August, all right? As of the time of recording this, that was 14 days ago. This stream was— oh, fuck, where was it? Here it is. YouTube changed its layout again. Fuck you, YouTube. This was streamed 2 days ago. So that was literally 12 days later that this stream came out. And I believe that she left the group like a couple of days previously to that. So she was in the group for like a week. A week! They kicked her out of her own group. Well, it wasn't her group. It was it was not her group, actually. This group was Nyana's group. This was a group that was Nyana's idea. And you're going to have to take my word for this, because I have agreed not to share posts or pictures from people that do not want their posts or pictures made. But this group was started by Nyana. She wanted to start this group for quite a long time, actually. She wanted to start this group when she was still in FaZe, because she was planning to quit FaZe for a long time. I actually have to look back to how long ago she wanted to quit FaZe, actually. But she wanted to quit FaZe for quite a long time. And she started approaching people and saying, hey, when I quit FaZe, do you want to be in this group with me? And she's like, and a couple of people are like, yeah, sure, why not? But yeah, so let's see. Chat.
Thank you, user.
I don't think I can say when she wanted to quit FaZe. She wanted to quit FaZe for a long time. A long time. All I'm going to say is she's wanted to quit FaZe for a long time. And it's longer than just the beginning of this year. And she wanted to start a VTuber group. And she invited a couple of people to jump into that group. One of them was Jelly. The other one we'll mention as we go through this stream here. But like, all that to really just say, it's not Miki's group. She was invited to be a third person in this group. Is there anything concrete, or is it going to be guesses and rats? No, there's going to be some things that are concrete. There's some stuff that, again, I've been told that they don't want to share. Because of that, I'm not going to share it. And it's one of those things where if you don't want to trust me, that's completely fair. That's completely fine. I would encourage you to only trust what you want to. I am just telling you based off of things that I've been shown, everything that's going on.
Sorry, I'm trying to be very, like... Because again, I want to handle this the way God wants me to handle it. And that is where I'm not here to cast stones. We're all sinners. We've all made mistakes, but... I've just been really, like, trying to meditate on the fact, like, you know, Jesus tells us to turn the other cheek, but he also was there to flip tables sometimes. And I've been really trying to ask God, at what point do I turn the other cheek, and at what point do I flip a table? Because I'm really hurt, and the reality is I'm not the only one that was hurt in this situation. And the fact that it's not being talked about is really, really painful.
One real quick thing to say, I think I was wrong about that. It was mid-July. When the invitation went out for this. I don't know why it says another number, but I am correcting it right now. It was mid-July, which is quite a big jump. I agree. But yeah, it was like around mid-July, which I believe was when she was already planning on leaving. So yeah, let me correct that right now. It sounds like it was mid-July when this kind of stuff was coming out. Yeah. No, yeah, it was mid-July. Yep. My apologies. My apologies. So yeah, it was mid-July when it looks like the extension for this group came out. Oh, yep. That makes more sense. Yeah, it was mid-July. All right, let's continue. Craziest part for me was Nyana being part of a Christian VTuber group. I thought that was a big splitter. No, it was weird for me too. And the reason why it was weird for me too is just because Nyana, okay, listen. I'm Christian, but I don't talk about my Christianity because it's like a special thing to me. And it's just like, you don't have to like be secret about it, but it's just like some content creators you look at and you're like, you're going to be a Christian VTuber? Really? Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people got upset at Nyana. In fact, here, if we go back real quickly to this post here, a lot of people were like really upset with Nyana when she said this. In fact, some people were saying that she was just going to become a Christian grifter outside of this, which is kind of dumb. But like, she's allowed, if she wants to do Christian stuff, be Christian. In fact, one of the reasons I believe why she left FaZe is because she wanted to do more Christian stuff and they said no. But it's just not something I expected, I guess you could say. Wolfsbane says, when you say Nyana, keep thinking of Nyanis. I apologize. There's too many cat VTubers, you know. Oh, excuse me.
The fact that it's just being brushed over and lied about. So
now she claims that things are being brushed over and lied about. I don't know what she means by that, because again, the only thing I know of where people are like trying to move on, and this could be in Discord servers. To be fair, it's probably because of in these Discord servers, because with Jelly, a lot of Jelly's communication with her audiences is just in her Discord server. 100%. A lot of it is just in her Discord server. But the only communication that we see that more people are being invited into this group is from Nyana asking for more Christian VTubers right here. So, like, I don't know where the lies would necessarily be coming from, but, like, she claims in here that people are lying about her or just lying about the group in general.
Again, I keep saying, like, I'm not here from a place of anger. I'm just here from a place of hurt. And, yeah. I wasn't preparing to talk about this today. Again, I've been literally praying about this for a while.
So am I weird for thinking Nyana going this route is weird? I think the thing to remember is, and again, I don't really want to get into Nyana's like own personal things, because I do believe that Nyana is dealing with her own stuff, and it's not really with her. I don't really feel comfortable opining on it, but like I know with Nyana, she's got a lot of personal things that she's going through, and she's still dealing with them, and I don't really feel like comfortable opining on them. But what I will say is that is probably why, like, she's going in some directions that she is with her content. And you know, I don't really blame, like, if she wants to she wants to change her content from one thing to another, if she's passionate about it, that's fine. You know, that's completely fine. It's just, I would agree with people where it's just like, it's definitely out of nowhere, if that makes sense. Anya's graduation looked bad on her and FaZe. No, I agree 100%. And what really sucks about this, because I did have sympathy for her when she did leave FaZe, and I still do have sympathy for her, even though I'm like really like upset with what I'm seeing. Like, I have a lot of questions for her, and I have a lot of things that I wish she would answer about this, because I feel like she's just, I feel like the problem is that she especially Jelly, especially because of some of the stuff I've seen, is just hoping that this goes away. Is just hoping that people will not care about this. And that's really sad. Because all they're doing is continuing to ask other people if they want to join other VTuber groups. And how do I know that? Because I've seen some of the people that they've asked. And they've asked other people if they want to join. And I would call, and like, I am not telling people that they can't join something if they want to. If you want to join Nyana and Jelly Stara in a VTuber group, good luck is all I'm going to say. And I would say you need to be informed. You need to be, you need to like get it. You need to understand. And you need to make sure that you know who you're getting in with. And just getting in with somebody because they say that they're Christian will lead to another Miki. Do not be like Miki. You need to know who you're getting in with. You need to know, at the very least, who Jelly is and what Jelly has done and what Jelly will do to you if she gets schizophrenic again. And yes, I'm being a little mean to Jelly when I say that, because I have literally nothing nice to say about Jelly or who she is.
For over a week, since before the collab even happened, to be honest. And so
I'm gonna go back on that.
About this for a while. For over a week, since before the collab even happened, to be honest.
So she's been having basically, so Miki, and she'll get more into it, and I've kind of explained it already, but she's kind of like saying that she's felt weird about this entire thing even before the one collab that they had happened.
And so today wasn't really when I was wanting to talk about it, but unfortunately, you know, the way things are happening behind the scenes, I just can't hold it. Like I said, even though I said it's like a joke, like, dude, over the last 3 days, I've lost like 8 pounds. Like, I can't eat. I'm crying 24/7, and then it really hurts. Every time I come on stream, people ask me, like, when is your next collab? Like, when is this gonna be happening? When is that gonna be happening? And just having to, like, bite my tongue and say that, like, everything's okay. So, I know this is probably gonna stir the pot, and, like, I'm fully I guess, ready for everything to come down on me. I really hope that people will be able to see the truth in the situation, and I know God knows what's in my heart. I know He knows what's in everyone's heart.
All right, we're gonna skip to the next timestamp here. I'm gonna jump to. Actually, we're just gonna jump like 30 seconds ahead.
I guess to start, I didn't leave the group on good terms. I felt incredibly disrespected, and I wanted to try to talk things out, but I felt like I was just really shut out, and like I was kind of hurt and confused. The entire time, ever since I was invited, I felt kind of like a third wheel, I guess. I don't know. And I was feeling kind of uncomfortable, and I don't know, like, I was excited because I was like, I love talking about God. I love making Christian content. And I was just excited at the idea of doing it, and now I didn't know who either of the other girls were.
And that, again, do not do this. Do not, legitimately, do not do this. You have no idea if the person on the other end is an axe murderer. You have no idea. Do not do this, where somebody invites you and then you do this.
That's a big bitch.
Over here, chat. Thank you.
That's a big dude.
Shondo's actually schizophrenic and she's better behaved than Jelly Stara. I'd even say she might behave more as a Christian than the one who calls herself a true believer.
Yeah, I've only seen Shondo ever have like 1 or 2 freakouts and where I don't feel like they're valid. But Shondo is a pretty decent individual. Jelly is unironically just like, again, where is the Wrangler for Jelly? Like, Jelly does a lot of crazy shit behind the scenes. And then like her boyfriend just like is some sort of weird lapdog hype man for it. And I just don't like seeing it. Kind of feels like a pity party. I will say that one of the problems that I definitely have is you've got a woman who is upset and she's like on stream expressing her upsetness. And where have we seen that? And I know where we've seen a lot of that before. And I do think, you know, there's definitely a little bit that you can chastise a person for when just saying, oh, you should have done more research, you know? Excuse me. And I agree with that, which is, again, why I think that this is a good example of you should do more research and all that kind of shit. Thank you. Has Celestium reached out to this girl? Celestium was my contact with this girl, actually. Celestium and Silent Bell were my contact with this girl. I did actually talk to Miki just a little bit before this stream happened, but yeah, I did talk to this girl before stream, and Celestium was one of my main contacts with it. Basically. But yeah, she comes out and says she did not know who the other people were before she entered in this group. And again, I'm pretty sure that Miki won't do this in the future, but don't do that, woman! Don't you fucking dare ever again get yourself into a situation where you jump in with a bunch of random other people that say that they love Christ. You're fucking gonna get sacrificed to some altar because you believe them, for fuck's sake. And again, that's like where a lot of my anger with Miki it definitely comes from. But like, like that's pretty low on the totem pole. That's like a upset parent saying, "What do you mean you didn't know what your friends did or how good your friends are?" You know, all that kind of shit. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just like you can only get so mad at somebody for doing that, and it's just like if they do it once, fine. All right. If they've only had a pattern of doing that once, you can forgive them and say, well, you better not fucking do it again. If they do it multiple times in the future, maybe the husband needs to get involved. By the way, Miki's also married, by the way. Sorry, man, she's off the market. Miki is also married. And hopefully the husband is like, you know, is also helping her out. I believe that the husband has got a way more of a head on his shoulders than King does. But at this point, now you need to be a little bit of a turtle, be a little bit of a, now you need to to ask other people for guidance and help on where you go, all that kind of shit. I'm such a dad. I don't know what you mean. Is this a one walks into traffic blames cars situation? I guess you can figure that out as, I guess you can like, decide that if you would like, but let's continue here. We're going to jump ahead now about a minute to 9 minutes and 24 seconds. There we go.
Oh man. I don't even want to do this. I'm just tired of lying to everyone and saying it's fine, dude.
And again, you can chat, you know me. You know me. I'm one of those people that's just like, if somebody says I don't want to do this, I'm like, well then why are you fucking doing it, man? Why are you doing it? You know? And I will definitely say that's definitely a criticism I have of Nikki during this whole stream, where multiple times she's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. This is not something I wanted. And I definitely think that like you shouldn't say that, because that's then just don't do it. But in my personal opinion, she should be here. All right. She should be doing this. All right. She should be speaking out when she's going through a situation where people are being stupid, because you want to avoid people. And I do believe that she's doing this because she doesn't want other individuals to suffer the same fate, so to speak, in the future. But I would definitely say, don't just keep saying over and over again that you don't want to do this or you don't want to be here, because some people might think that there's an external reason for why you are here, even though I feel like I know why her reason is. Don't do that. Women speak, yes. Women do that a lot. Women, you know, people call me sexist already, so it doesn't even matter. Women do it a lot where they're like, where they say stuff like that. But like legitimately, if you legitimately don't want to do this, then don't do it. Otherwise, don't say this, because like, it doesn't make you more sympathetic. For some people, it makes you less sympathetic, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's continue.
I prayed about this so much and like reading my Bible over a while. Yeah, probably just disable sound alerts. I don't even, where can I do that? Extensions? I don't know, dude. My head is just a lot.
This is her, by the way, failing to turn off alerts and stuff. Again, I'm just going to be the only critical on this once, right here, right now. Should have turned off made sure it's off, but like, hopefully this is the only time she has to do it. So like, hopefully in the future she doesn't have to like do this kind of shit again. But if she does, turn off your alerts normally, woman. Thank you.
My extensions.
I'm gonna jump ahead about 5 seconds.
No, I don't even know where to start here. Yeah, I have water. I'm trying to like be calm. Like I said, I didn't expect to already be crying before I even started talking, but like I hope that shows how upset I am about this whole situation and how much I don't want to have to talk about this. I'm just really anxious for the future. And again, it hurts me knowing that.
Definitely has anxiety. Yes, she definitely does. And that's totally fine. You know, I'm not going to punish somebody because they're anxious about getting up and wanting to talk about something that's obviously very rough. I'm just going to tell them, if you have a situation like this, don't say something that will be used against you by someone like me or somebody like Star. If Star decides... And by the way, I will say that Star has already come out with a response on this that we will go through. Whether or not they do more of a response is yet to be seen, I guess.
I was hurt, other people were hurt, and then more people might get hurt too. Preface about before you were asked. Okay, yeah, I'll just kind of like start from the beginning, I guess. So, as you guys know, I've been making content for 6 months now. I started pre-debut in February, but I didn't debut until June 26th.
She's a young,
basically right
young
debut.
creator.
The whole time I'd been pretty open about my faith and talking about my faith, but I never did like dedicated Christian content. But after debut, I felt like I wanted to start doing like Sunday Bible studies. And like I thought it was cool. Like I'd seen VTubers doing it. Like I don't really watch VTuber streams or videos or anything, but like occasionally I would see people like have YouTube shorts pop up, and I was like, that's cool. And I like talking about Bible stuff, and I was like, maybe that's something I could be good at. Like, and just specifically on Sundays, you know, I could talk theology because I really enjoy it. Like not just some Bible thumping thing, but I just want to talk theology. I don't know. I don't know. And so I started doing that, and within like 1 to 2 weeks of doing that, I started getting a lot of traction, particularly on Instagram. Specifically, one of my my like reels, whatever you call it, on Instagram, got over 100,000 views. It really blew up because
I feel like I'm missing out with Instagram.
I don't know. I don't really know. I had Instagram like less than a month at that point, I think. And so
I'm not going to use Instagram though. That's a woman's platform.
Anyways, when that video blew up about me making like doing Bible studies, a lot of people started tagging someone in my comments, specifically Jelly Stara. And
so this is the start here. She's making Instagram videos, And one of the first people that she gets tagged in, because a lot of her fans probably share a similar community with Jelly. A lot of her fans are like pointing out to Jelly, hey, look, here's another Christian individual that you can be friends with. And I believe, by the way, that this is before, either before, during, or somewhat after the drama with Sylent Bell. Because again, she's been doing this for about 6-7 months. Drama with Jelly and Sylent Bell was 3 months ago. 3 months ago at this point, which is insane to say. And so, yeah, it's pretty insane to think about.
I was like, I wonder who this is, because everyone was like, oh, like, Jelly Stara, here's a new friend for you. Like, you should be friends with this new girl, and stuff like that. And, so specifically...
Her emotions read like she's anxious and worried she might trip over a landmine. No, 100%. You can definitely tell that she is, like, terrified to be here right now, and she's upset. Her mood does improve as time goes on, but, like, in the beginning here, she definitely is trying to find a footing with all of this kind of stuff.
I like clicked on the profile and I realized I recognized her. I had watched like on TikTok, I'd seen some of her like TikTok like short form video or something talking about Bible verses, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. I actually recognize her. And now you guys know I don't really collab. I don't really have VTuber friends. I'm really new here, and like,
again, that's a problem. You shouldn't join a group, especially when you don't know them.
Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna hammer that point home. And again, maybe it might be mean or rude or belabor the point, but I'm going to hammer the point home. Don't do that.
I just wanted to make friends and, like, make connections, I guess. And I thought it was cool that, like, someone else was making Christian content. And so I, like, worked up some courage and I like, DM'd her. And I was like, hey, like, I watch your content. I think that's really cool. And, like, everyone was tagging you on my stuff. And I just wanted to, like, say hi. Basically, that's it. And, that specifically happened on July 21st. So it's literally only been about a month since I've essentially met Star. And so after that, she just like vaguely was like, oh yeah, that's nice. We added each other on Discord. We didn't really talk. We had very, very brief talking. In between, it was mostly like she would see me tweet something and be like, hey, hope you're okay. And then I was like, yeah, like I'm good. And but no real like conversation. I had no idea who she was. And a week later, after our first message, without talking to her, she DMs me on Discord, and it was like, hey, would you like to be in a new Christian VTuber group with me and Nyana, where we do...
So, let's back that up. About 20-30 seconds here, all right? Because you might be like, wait. Is she actually claiming that there was no communication and then let's get... Yes! Here, we're gonna back that up about 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's nice. We added each other on Discord. We didn't really talk. We had very, very brief talking. In between, it was mostly like she would see me tweet something and be like, hey, hope you're okay. And then I was like, yeah, like I'm good. And but no real like conversation. I had no idea who she was. And a week later, after our first message, without talking to her, she DMs me on Discord, and it was like, hey, would you like to be in a new Christian VTuber group with me and Nyana, where we do...
Just out of the blue, out of the fucking blue, Jelly is like, hey, random person that I just met a week ago, do you want to be in this VTuber group with me and another person that you have absolutely no idea who she is? Now, to be fair, Jelly might not have known that Miki didn't know who Nyana was. But, like, that's kind of insane. And I will say that, like, I don't necessarily think that there's any malice to be ascribed by Jelly by inviting this random girl. Now, to be fair, I think there's malice for another individual, which we'll get to later. But I don't think that there was any malice with Jelly asking Miki if she wanted to join. I just think that's incredibly that's an incredibly bad idea. To just ask somebody that you just met a week ago. You have no idea who they are. You don't know what their like freak is. You don't know how they act or how they talk. So like, it's just like, why would you? This is more of a judgment to Jelly. It's just like, why would you invite some random ass person that you met for a week? Maybe they watched each other's reels and all that kind of shit. Maybe and like that's cool and everything. But there is you cannot convince me that either party knew anything about the other. And they were both operating blindly on what their true hearts and motivations were for anything. And that's insane in my personal opinion. YOLO VTuber group? Yes. YOLO VTuber group. I don't recommend that, by the way. That's a crazy thing to do. I mean, like, just for myself, when it came to Under the Tea with me, Mizu, and originally Lumi, the only person I didn't know was Mizu, but I knew Lumi, and I trusted Lumi because we had been friends for like I want to say almost a year, and even though we didn't talk a whole lot, we talked about a lot of stuff. And you know, I even though I didn't know Mizu, I learned about him and I knew about him because I kind of talked to him on stream, and I figured out what he liked. He liked locale stuff like I did. I knew enough about Mizu to be confident that I could match his freak in a VTuber chat. If you don't even have the chance to talk to these people or learn about them, why would you, one, invite some random girl that you met off of Instagram a week ago, and two, why would you agree to be part of that group? Again, it's one of those things where you can definitely blame both sides. You can definitely say, Jelly is retarded for inviting a random person that she doesn't know, and Miki is retarded for choosing to accept it. And there definitely needs to be some better education for Christian VTubers. All right, definitely Christian VTubers need to have some better education about what they should and should not accept on both ends of the spectrum. Because if both of them were smart, this would not have happened at all. Talk about the puddle, now you get puddles forming. True.
Like Bible study streams and sing worship songs. Now, I didn't know who either of these two girls really were. Like, I'd only vaguely seen them. But I don't know, I guess I was just kind of blinded by like, oh, well, I just started making Christian content. And like, wow, this seems really cool. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And like, honestly, saying yes, I think was like such a bad decision. I mean, I don't know. I say it's a bad decision, but good has come out of it. Because of how hurt I feel, I've at least been able to meet some new people that have been really wonderful.
Akko says, educate yourself. Yes,
continue to breathe.
You do. You like legitimately. It. And again, I'm saying this. Somebody said concerned dad, but legitimately, I look at how some of these people get treated by this situation, and I've covered drama for like the better part of almost 4 years at this point, I guess I should say. And it is not like it is not special to me seeing all of these people that get hurt by all kinds of drama, and it's just like the amount of individuals that get hurt because they don't pay attention, or they don't like they're not like actively studying before they get out there. They just throw their heart on their sleeve and they just start doing stuff, and it's just like, you realize you're gonna get yourself killed, right? And it's just like I say this from a realm of nicety. A lot of people are stupid. All right, a lot of people are fucking stupid, and they need to get like they need to educate themselves. They need to educate themselves. All right, they need to educate themselves. They need to make sure that they watch out, and so they don't get themselves taken advantage of, and they need to like be ready to like make sure that they can protect themselves, you know? This is Jelly. Yes, this is the person we are talking about. Anyone got a master's degree in living? I'm not even saying just that. All I'm saying is you need to be ready to confront life. These days, you can't not like do at least some kind of like education for this kind of shit, because otherwise you're gonna get hurt. Thoughts on the horrible cartoon called Lesbian Space Pirates that's so bad it's causing world peace with various fandoms? I think that's what we're watching next week, sadly. So, I have no thoughts because I have not seen it, so I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that it's made a lot of people come together that actively normally hate each other, which is kind of funny, in my personal opinion. Kind of funny. But yeah, in this day and age, you can't not afford to do some kind of research, if that makes sense. And that's why I'm just like, I look at her and I'm just like, why didn't you do any kind of research? Yeah, anyway, let's continue.
So, I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And I instantly said yes. I didn't really like think much of it.
Bad idea.
And so I got like invited to the group chat and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, I had like zero communication with Nyana the entire time. She would just kind of like pop in and say 1 or 2 words, but I didn't really talk to Star either. So this entire time, so essentially I was invited to the group. Okay, I met Star the 21st. She invited me on the 28th. I got added to the group, and then like everything was made, and I felt like it was going really fast. And I don't know. I guess I just like expected
I'm going to assume that's of last month because it's not even the 28th of this month.
that it would take a little more. I was told Nyana would be debuting on August 14th, and I was like, okay. Again, I assumed that like it would be maybe a couple months until we will talk about the Silent Bell drama because it's relevant. Because now Belle and I have become good friends over this situation because, you know, not to spoil the ending, but the same thing happened to Belle. Exactly what I'm crying about right now.
Now she's referencing the drama that we already talked about. There are going to be parts I skip because she references the Belle drama that we've already talked about. But yeah, the Belle drama. The Belle drama is also a big part of this because of who it's about, basically.
They did to Belle too. But I'll get to that. So, it's not even just that I'm hurt. I'm hurt for Belle after hearing everything that she has told me. It is so unfair what happened to her. But we'll get to that. So the 28th, I got invited, and everything was going fast, and I was under the impression, you know, it would be a little bit until we started, like, doing any group stuff. And we would have time to prepare. But it all started happening fast. Instantly, Nyana was like, guys, we're doing, like, I want to do a Christian song cover. And I was like, okay. And then she asked us for, like, song ideas. And all of mine got vetoed, but, like, it's fine. They landed on a song. And then Nyana's like, you know, give me your vocals ASAP. I gave my vocals ASAP. And, like, even Star reached out to me and was like, hey, I've never, like, recorded a song cover before. Can you help me? And, like, I tried to give her advice. I tried to help her. And, like, this whole time I was so nice. And now I just feel, like, so naive, dude. There's so many things, and like obviously I don't want to talk about everything because again it goes back to the whole like, you know, unwholesome speak. I'm not here to talk bad about people. I just want to talk about the hurt that I'm feeling. So I'm not going to like go into all these other details, even though like it might be within my right, but I'm not here to do that.
She does that a lot too.
So,
again, I've already said it. Don't say that if you're confident wanting to do this, don't say that. But like, she's gonna mention that a lot.
After that, you know, things started going fast. I didn't even know we were going to be collabing until like less than a week beforehand.
That's the other thing. This collab, the collab where they do the rating your sins kind of thing, wasn't even talked about with her. Wasn't even discussed with her. Wasn't even put out into the stratosphere for her to like agree or disagree with. Until literally it was time to start prepping for it. They didn't interact with her without inviting? Basically, yes. Yeah, which is insane to me. Because, like, you know, in my VTuber group, the one that I'm in, which is actually like, a group, not just a group, but it is a corporation. It is a company, a registered company. You know, we have a specific Discord server where we all talk every single morning. You know, we play games with each other every other week. And, you know, we talk about stuff, talk about content strategies or whatever. You know, this woman didn't even talk to these people. Had very little conversation with these people before the collab even started. So, like, imagine, like this is here because this is so unacceptable in my personal opinion. Is really, really unacceptable in my personal opinion. Because it's just like when you're in a situation like this and you want, because I've already mentioned just how bad it is that that they just invite a random girl without vetting her, all that kind of shit. But like when you're trying to build a group with people to make that you are wanting to build relationships and business-esque relationships with, you really got to make sure you vibe with them, and you really got to make sure that this isn't somebody you're going to get into a fight with later. Now, unfortunately, and I definitely know this for a fact, it doesn't always work out, even if you do spend, like, what, 6 months, a year, 2 years with them. Sometimes people are just weird. Sometimes people move on. You know, shit happens, you know? Shit happens and then you die. But at the very least, before you decide, oh, I want to make a VTuber group with somebody, you should spend at least a couple of weeks talking to somebody and wanting to collab with them. Before Bestiary was even like announced as a thing, not only was it a previous group, but like all of us were friends already. We already knew stuff together. We jumped in. And, you know, I know that's not how a lot of, like, corpos work. I know you're just thrown in there with people. But before you're even hired to a corpo, there's already considerations. Excuse me. There are already considerations by the people that make the financial decisions. If the person that they're going to hire is somebody that will mesh well with the other individuals that are going to be in there. And the same is kind of considered for bestiary as well. All the people that are in bestiary right now are people that like each other or have worked with each other in some way, shape, or form, or have been on my stream or I've been on their streams or vice versa. The fact that this came together, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even, outside of the one collab, I don't even think Nyana and Star had done any streams together. It was I think that was literally their first stream together, was Miki, Jelly, and Nyana all together. That was their first stream together. And so I really like have a problem with that, where these people come together, they're like, oh, we're just gonna start streaming together and it's gonna be great, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be fun. Only men can this shit, all that kind of stuff. Oh, my stream is dying. I can't remember. Anyway, we're just gonna continue here. All right, we're just gonna continue.
Nyana was just like, we're going to be collabing at this time. And then she's like, what do you...
Oh, right, now I remember. So, the overall point I'm going to say is, it's kind of insane that these people came together, assuming that they could just be friends and do stuff together and not potentially have problems. Because guess what? That's how a lot of problems in the VTuber space happen. A lot of times you'll see people get canceled or write Google Docs because they felt uncomfortable with somebody or they didn't like how somebody vibed and all that kind of shit. And it's just like, why didn't you do any amount of checking or vetting before any of this happened? Why? Why? You know, why? Why? You know what I mean? Why didn't you do any form of making sure that you weren't going to want to murder this person after you got onto a call with them? That's why I'm just like, everybody is kind of dumb in my personal opinion, because people should have done a little bit more research before actually starting.
You guys want to do? And again, like, I thought we were all gonna like decide together. But I don't know. Again, just like the songs, it just kind of got vetoed, and like I guess they decided on a confessional stream. I wasn't really down with it. I felt like it was really heavy, I guess, and I feel like confessional streams tend to not be as serious. And I don't know, like, I joined this group thinking it was gonna be
okay. So she, here, I'll let this play out for another moment.
Something a little more like serious. If you guys have been here before, you know I take my faith very seriously. I love God, and like.
Now I will say, because she talks about how she thought this was going to be serious. And again, this is another problem when it comes to not setting expectations for a group when you step in. There is a chance that that the idea behind this group was going to be way more chill than like it was going to be a more chill kind of thing, and the veneer of like Christianity was like going to be at the top, if that makes sense. You know, there is an idea that like Star and Nyana just wanted to have a chill thing where you know they sing songs about Christ, but they're chill. But like that's not what Miki wanted to jump in on, and that's the problem. And that's why you do these kinds of vetting. You vet these kinds of things and you ask people what their expectations for this is going to be, because if you don't, you're going to have situations where you have somebody like Miki who thought that she was walking into a serious discussion, and instead what she got is two girls joking about VTuber confessions for a couple of hours, and then you leave somebody like her in the dust thinking, what did I walk in on? What did I walk in on? Reread my super? All right. Only men can make spontaneous friend groups. True, but by the same token, you should still vet your shit before it happens.
No, I don't take it as a joke, I guess. And I try to be very like respectful. And so I don't know. I was a little concerned about the idea of like a confessional thing. And but it's okay because like I'm trying my best. Anyways, this was less than a week out. Yeah, I didn't, Archon. Like, to be honest, I didn't think I'd be making fun of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, a couple days before the...
And again, it is important to point that out, because again, like, confessional streams are kind of a thing to make fun of, if that makes sense, you know?
collab, like there's still been zero communication within all, like between any of us girls. So my mods tried to reach out to the mods of the other girls because we were gonna have a shared chat. Now let's be honest, I've been very like, I'm much smaller than the other girls. Yeah, there wasn't even a group call beforehand, you guys. Yeah.
Not even a group. Do you guys do any fucking prep before you do these serious things? And again, if you just want, like, listen, if Star and Nyana want to just come out and say, this wasn't a serious thing, this was supposed to be like a bro thing, we're not even gonna like, if that's the case, nobody would care. But guess who didn't know? Guess who didn't get the MO that this wasn't supposed to be a serious thing? Allegedly. It was Miki. Miki didn't know that this was supposed to be a chill thing. Miki didn't know that she was showing up to make fun of her chatters. Miki didn't know what this was supposed to be. You know how you could have fixed that? If you had a conversation, you know, if you sat down and said, here's our expectations for everything. Here's what we're expecting to do. And do you want to be a part of that? Now, here's the thing. Miki, I'm not going to speak on behalf of her, but there's a chance that, like, when they would have told her, hey, we're gonna do this stream, we're gonna joke around, we're gonna do all that this kind of fun shit with our fans, there's a chance that she would have been like, okay, that's cool, we can do that. I kind of want to keep things a little bit more respectable, but I'm willing to sit down and do that kind of silly stuff with you people. You know, there's a chance that could have happened. But you know what happened? Because they didn't sit down and they didn't make expectations clear and they didn't allow her to understand what she was walking into. You end up with a situation where you've got this poor girl where she walks into a stream where people are joking and saying all these weird things, and I'm sure that she's very confused about all of it, and it's confusing and probably off-putting to her. Well, and I'll let her continue to talk about how off-putting it is. I don't want to like go too far ahead, but it was off-putting.
So I was like a little anxious because obviously they like are double my size, if not more. And I was like, I just wanted to maybe establish some boundaries or something. I don't know. And so my moms reached out and
oh, this is good to point out before the stream actually happened.
Star's boyfriend King, I will say, I'm trying to choose my phrasing carefully because again, I'm not trying.
I'll choose it for her. Star's boyfriend is psychotic in my personal opinion.
To insult anyone, but he was very unkind to my mods and stuff. One moment, he was very unkind to my mods and basically blew up. I found it a little bit weird. I'd already been having some, you know, second thoughts about things. I found it really weird how rude he was. Exactly. It felt like embarrassing and wrong. I don't know. But essentially he blew up and said that I was going behind the other two girls' backs by having my mods talk to their mods, which really confused me because...
So, this, before the first collab even happens, she's trying to get, and this is what, again, insane to me. This is insane to me. And I believe that Tech in the chat is one of Jelly's mods. Or not one of Jelly's mods, one of Miki's mods. You have people that are just trying to understand and set expectations for things. And then you have somebody like King that allegedly, and I say allegedly because I haven't seen these. But I will, here's something I will say. There is some stuff that is not shown, all right? And you can choose to believe it, you can choose not to believe it. My personal opinion is, if it's not to be believed, it can be very easily disproven, in my personal opinion. But according to some of the mods, they're trying to set expectations for what we're gonna see. And King loses his shit at them and is rude to them. Excuse me. And is rude to them. And it's just like, how is that supposed to set the stage for anything that we're going through if the boyfriend to the other group mate, which by the way, she's had little to no contact with, is acting like a psychotic idiot? How is that supposed to set the stage? If I'm her, I'm like, I definitely am having some second thoughts about this. If this is how her boyfriend is going to act when I'm just trying to get information. And you might say, well, why didn't she just go directly to them? Sounds like she tried. Sounds like she tried. And the mods were just trying to be an intermediary here to try and get help. So, you know.
As for me personally, I mod people because I trust them to like handle chat. And like if we're gonna do combined chat, I thought it would be like normal, I guess, to set boundaries. And again, there'd been zero communication between any of us.
Like, is it weird to have your mods that moderate your chat ask the other mods about moderation practices? No. No. So him freaking out is just kind of, it's not crazy to me because I've seen how he acts previously, but it's just insane to hear that he like is acting like this.
And so King was incredibly rude about the entire situation. It made me kind of uncomfortable, and immediately Star DMs me, like, saying I should have asked the other girls first without, like before having my mods try to talk to their mods, which again was really confusing to me. And I was like, I understand that, but like, to me personally, and I tried to explain to her, I was like, my mods are like an extension of me, like, and most people I know, that's how it is. Like, I assume that, you know, like, my mods I allow to talk about these things, and I just assume that's how other people's are. And I told Star, like, I apologize so much, and I was like...
I will say, it depends. A lot of my mods are also Temp's mods, because Temp is my friend, and they also like Temp, and so they mod for Temp, so it's kind of easy for me and Temp to do that kind of shit. A lot of the mods for a lot of other people in beast areas like that as well. So it's just like... And the other thing that's like really weird about this is, why freak out about this? Why freak out about this when you're in a group together, all right? You're in a group together, and you should be able to trust each other and be able to reach out to each other. Why freak out when everybody is supposed to be on the same page to begin with? And if she is delegating her mods to do work for her, because I'm going to assume that, like, Miki isn't like a terminally online individual. I know that she's got some, I don't really know what she's got, but Miki proclaims that she has some kind of disability. I don't know like what she does, but I'm going to assume that she doesn't spend every single minute online all day. I know I don't. And I know that some of the stuff that I do is delegated to some of my mods as well. So it's just like, why can't she ask the mods to work with you and then get back? If she trusts them enough, why can't she ask your mods about it? Just looking from Jelly's channel, it entirely shows that she's a person that's more worried about her image than anything else, to the point of narcissism. Girl really should have seen it coming. I have not looked at, I mean, like, I've looked at some of her videos, but I have not really looked overall. But I'll trust you on that, Lala.
I'm sorry if what I did offended you. Like, I've been really kind of confused, and I feel like no one's been communicating with me, and like, I just wanted to like take initiative and like try to set boundaries so that we could all be comfortable.
And again, they snap at her. Or at least, excuse me, I don't want to say they as in like Nyana is intentionally doing this, because again, I don't think that Nyana is intentionally part of this. But Star is like freaking out. Like, legitimately, Star is freaking out. And what's the disconnect here? You know what I mean?
And it ended up making me feel really sad. So essentially that was the last time I talked to the girls, like, before the actual collab happened. So the first time I ever talked to the other two girls, like, on a call, was 20 minutes before the collab started. And it was basically just setting things up. I felt really awkward, uncomfortable. There was still no talk of boundaries, and like how it would go. I also found out that the confession sheet wasn't really moderated either. And so that's where you guys, if you were watching, you might have noticed a lot of them were not serious. I know my mod said they could tell I was uncomfortable the whole stream. I don't know if other people could tell that. A lot of people told me, like, Miki, you did so well in the collab, but I'll be honest, I felt incredibly uncomfortable the entire time. Even if you watch the stream, I kept apologizing for being the first person to speak, because, like, there would be a confession, and, like, I thought this was going to be a group. I tried to be very professional about it, you know? Yeah, it's Celestium and Belle I've become close to both of them over this.
Shout out to Celestium.
So we'll get to that. But yeah, I don't know. I felt weird always being the first person to speak, because I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm hogging the spotlight, but I would just sit there and there would just be silence for so long. And And so I would just try to feel the, like, silence by saying something, and I would be like, I'm sorry I keep going first, but it's like, I don't know, no, Celeste is good. No, I'm saying Celeste and I are, like, talking more and becoming friends. And yeah, I think Confessional is supposed to...
I think Nyana was trying to rush this group. I think Nyana really wanted to jump into something, and I know nothing about, because I wasn't a viewer of Nyana. I know next to nothing about her. But what I do know is, when you have a lot of humans, when they get really solid ideas, hold on a moment. Oh, okay. When humans get really solid ideas and they want to rush into it, sometimes they'll cut corners in order to doing that. And I'm not saying that's what Nyana did, but it sounded like Nyana was really interested in starting this like VTuber group with a bunch of other Christians. And it sounded like she jumped into it just as much as everybody else did. And, like, I will judge you for that. I can understand that, but I will judge you because, like, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be jumping into something just because you're thinking to yourself, oh, I just wanted to be a part of this one thing, and I want to create this super duper cool thing that that I want to have as some sort of rebound. No, I'm gonna say that, like, she shouldn't have done that. But, like, that's what this leads to. When you don't structure it, when you don't think about it, when you don't put the time and effort into it, you come with people that have baggage, and you come with people that cause problems, and you get situations like this.
To be, like, more private. So already I was a little uncomfortable with the idea of the stream. And then just the fact that none of it even got moderated, it felt like it became into a joke very well. Like, a lot. I don't know. And so I would just try my best to keep my chin up and, you know, stay quiet about the situation. I tried my best to give what advice I could, the best I could, but I felt progressively more anxious. And I know people were making memes I was falling asleep. I want you guys to know I was not falling asleep. It's because I was messaging my mods as well as my husband during it about how upset
We're
and
gonna jump ahead
uncomfortable
like
I felt.
15 seconds
And
here,
how,
chat.
like... And guys, it went on for nearly 5 hours.
No, we'll jump
For
back.
support, because there wasn't even talk of how long the stream would go. And guys, it went on for nearly 5 hours.
So the stream is... Now, listen. I like me my long 5-hour streams. But it sounds like they didn't even coordinate with how long to make the stream. And again, this moves back to the problem of zero communication. And all girls are guilty of this, all right? I just want to dog on one or the other people. All of them are guilty of this. I can say that the two others are more guilty of this because they didn't communicate with her, but all of them are guilty of not setting expectations of how long the collab is going to be, whether or not it's going to... Because, like, listen, if it's 2 to 3 hours, nobody really cares. Somebody might grab a snack. Somebody might need to use the restroom, like I'm going to have to here soon. But, like, nobody's going to bat an eye or care if you choose to, like, do a 2 or 3 hour stream. If you're going longer than that, you should probably set the expectation and say, hey, we're going to make this stream a long boy stream. So we're going to you're going to do this, and this. And, like, there was nothing discussed. It sounds like it was very bare minimum. And again, I don't have the entire DM conversations for this, but, like, why was there no conversation? Why was there no consulting? Why did everybody just jump into this? Like, now, to be fair, I believe, and this is based off of my own rats and my own theories, I believe there was conversation. I believe there was, just not with her. I believe that Nyabyss and Jelly had conversations with each other. I believe both of them talked about things that they wanted to do, but I believe that Miki was not involved. I believe that Miki was kind of like right at the end, basically, out of all of this. I talked to Nyana's mod to get Miki access to the confessional sheet the night before, and because Nyana didn't respond, he sent Miki the link, but then it seems later Nyana said no. Really? I'm gonna be honest with you, I might need to see some proof of that, but, like, I don't know. I've streamed for 30 minutes to 18 hours, but I'm easygoing. Yeah, but you're also a man that probably doesn't need a whole lot. Some women need to be watered a little bit more than men do. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just the truth. All right? Conversations were attempted and ignored. That is what I keep hearing as a constant. The conversations just did not happen. And my question, like, if there was ever a time to ask Nyana a question, it's just like, where is the communication? Where? Because there is none. And listen, if you're not willing to do communication, fine. But don't create a group like this. And don't ask other people on Twitter to join your group when you can't have any sort of communication with each other. Because guess what? There is no communication I'm hearing from. None. Legitimately, where is the communication? All I am hearing here is there are brief conversations about what's going to happen and the expectations. When more conversation is attempted, you've got a psychotic male that is barking back because for some reason they're just not doing it right. But then there's still no conversation. Why, Nyana? Why? Where is the conversation? Why, Star? Where is the conversation? Like, legitimately, there is no conversation. And I'd like to know why. Why? Again, I can opine way more malicious things from it, and I'm sure some people will as we go through this, but, like, why is there no communication? Why is there no talking through any of this here?
It went on for nearly 5 hours. I was under the impression it was going to be maybe, like, 2 to 3 hours max. I hadn't even had dinner, and I was, like, really kind of hungry, too, and so it just all, like, I was already uncomfortable. I was hungry. It went way longer than I expected. There had been no planning prior, even though, like, and when I tried to, like, take initiative to plan things, again, King snapped at me and then, like, Star DM me in private. And here's the ironic thing. She told me verbatim that...
So she tries to do more things and King snaps at her. And again, this is the VTuber group? Man, if this is how they act to a third member, I hope to God that the next person they try to recruit knows everything that's going on. I hope to heaven and high water that the next person they recruit sees all of this shit, because they definitely need to know of the psychotic male that exists with at least one of the individuals. Okay?
Next time we should handle things between us three girls, quote unquote, the right way, without involving others. And I took...
Listen, okay, fine. But why aren't you doing that in the first place? Why aren't you doing that in the first place, Star?
That to heart. I was like, okay. So I immediately, like, I stopped trying to talk to her other mods and stuff. We had the collab. And then the next day, I was really upset. I didn't want... Again, it's the whole, like, be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. And so I was very upset. And it's basically, as soon as the collab was done, I started crying. But I didn't want to, like, you know, be in my emotions and speak out of impulse. So I just was like, I'm going to...
Tech, you should join my server, and then you can, like, message them to me. Or never mind, they were sent to me. Oh, interesting. Hold on. So this is from... I believe this is from Tech. Where this is 8:20. I added Miki to the forum, too. Nyana's probably recording or something. This is on the 20th. And then Tech says, she asked for me to leave it. Chicks replied later saying no for adding Miki, but it was already done at that point. What? Dude, I've got so many questions. Listen, here's my problem with this. When I first saw that Nyana was choosing Star as a member, I thought, oh fuck. Nyana, in my personal opinion, is somebody that needs to be guarded. And she needs to know what's wrong with Star. Unfortunately, I no longer think that. Unfortunately, I no longer think that. Unfortunately, I think that Nyana knows more about what happened with Star. Magic is a mod of Nyana. Okay. Unfortunately, I think that Nyana knows more about what happened with Star and is complacent with it. That is my problem. Like, and again, off of everything I showed you in the previous, like, bit here, where I showed you how Star is psychotic and deranged and her husband is not much better, you would think a normal person would see insanity and step away. So my question is, what the fuck is Nyana thinking? What the fuck? Because Star is insane, and she needs to get her shit solved. And Nyana is intentionally or unintentionally or just standing by on the sidelines. She is just letting it happen. And I don't understand why. And it bothers me because Nyana has good faith from people that like her, from people that were outside of FaZe that like her, people that even are inside of FaZe that like her, and she is just letting this happen. Where is Nyana in all of this? And why is Nyana letting all of this happen? And where's the communication? And again, I want this to be known because I know a lot of people, myself included, like Nyana. I need answers. Because the longer that I don't get answers, the more worried I'm going to be. And the more I'm going to assume that Nyana doesn't care or is complicit in it. So I need to know why Nyana is just letting this sit. Because this is wrong. Like, put aside everything else that is going to be alleged here. The lack of communication is enough for me to never want to work with people like this. I would never work with people that don't want to communicate like this. Then just sitting there while this other person is being rude to a person that you apparently want in your group? Well, to be honest with you, I don't think these people wanted Miki in her group. Again, based off of some of the stuff we're going to cover in this. But, like, why is this a thing? Why? Anyway, let's continue. I'm about to jump to the next clip here.
I'm just gonna, like, let it go. I'm gonna, like, eat some food. I'm gonna get some sleep, and I'm going to, you know, try to talk to the girls tomorrow. That I felt a little bit uncomfortable with the whole situation. Not just that, but there was also a lot of things going on in Twitch chat that made me uncomfortable as well, and, you know, behavior from other people, which again I feel like could have been resolved if we'd been able to have the talk about boundaries. Because to me, like, it just, the way I described it, it sounds harsh, but it's like when you go to church and there's kids running in between the pews, like, screaming, which it's like that's how it felt sometimes. And so it really hurt. It really hurt. So yeah, the next morning I woke up and I was like, hey guys, let me hydrate. I'll give the kitty treats.
Okay, we're gonna skip ahead because she feeds her cats, and while that is cute, I am not sitting through her feeding her cats.
I don't want to make a, I didn't even want to talk about this. I didn't want a Google Doc. I didn't even want to talk about this on stream. But again, I've been crying for days and days. I've been losing so much weight because I can't eat over the stress, trying to, like, keep it to myself and be the bigger person. But, like, it's just getting to a point where, again, we'll get to how all these things are. So back to where we were. Essentially, is that just a thing? No, someone was saying, like, please no Google Doc, like, don't write a Google Doc. No, there's not one currently, and I hope there won't be one. But, so that...
Fun fact. She is not, at the current moment, planning one. But Star has already published a Google Drive. And, Star is, like, showing that she has not learned anything, and she's just going to double, triple, and quadruple down on all of this kind of shit.
That morning I reached out and was like, hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you guys about yesterday. I felt a little uncomfortable. I was hoping we would have had a little more communication before, you know, the collab. And, like, I felt like it was a little unserious. And I told them even directly, like, let me see if I can pull up exactly what I said. But I tried to tell them, I was like, I understand that, you know, everybody has their streams differently. Like, everybody does things differently. But I was like, but I felt a little uncomfortable, so I was hoping now that we've had that collab that we can, like, establish boundaries. And, you know, what makes us comfortable so this doesn't happen again. So, hold on, let me find it. Okay. So I said, I know this is specifically what I said. Again, I'm not trying to pull out screenshots today, but I'm just trying to, like, speak.
Now, I will say, and this is another critique I have. This is another critique that I have for Miki. Here's a critique I have for Miki. I kind of understand why she's doing it, but by the same token, I don't think this is a good reason to do it. Miki is not, at the current moment, planning to share the screenshots that she has of these conversations. She has them all, according to her. But she is not planning on sharing them at the current moment. Because she doesn't want to continue embroiling the drama. What I kind of told her, I'm not saying this verbatim, but I'm just going to give you, like, a rough understanding of why I think this is a bad idea. Number one, I don't think this is necessarily over. I think that Star is going to continue to be insane. because I do think that Star is going to continue posting or talking about things. And unfortunately, I feel like Nyana might feed into that as well. When they do, they are going to say whatever they want. And if you do not immediately rebut that with screenshots, people are going to build more things on you. So when you have the opportunity to show bad behavior, if it is very clear throat, you need to show it immediately. You need to come out and show why there are problems. By not showing screenshots and by expecting people to just listen to you, you are immediately going to have problems. Not with your audience. You might with some of your audience. But you are going to have an issue where people outside of your audience will probably not believe you, and you can potentially shut yourself off from other individuals in the future. Again, a thing to understand is there's a lot of goodwill, on at least Nyana's side. It's kind of mixed, but there's a lot of goodwill on Nyana's side. And for some reason, a lot of people still believe Star. Probably because people don't read Google Docs when they should. You need to come out swinging. If you have proof that somebody is being stupid, you need to come out swinging. Because if you don't, they can lie about you. And then it's a lot harder for you to prove it in the future. So, I am of the opinion that, and I still think that they should be released. My opinion is Miki needs to share all of the pictures of all of her DMs and all of her shit. Because, like, while I may have some belief, because here's the thing. Do I believe Miki on this? Yes. But is it because I've seen the screenshots? No. I haven't seen the screenshots myself. But do I believe her? Yes. Why do I believe her? Because Star is insane. She thankfully has the buff of where I believe her because Star is insane. But if it wasn't for that, I'm sorry, Miki, but I would not believe you. And I would have a harder time believing you. That's just how the internet works. So if you want people to believe you, I would release the screenshots. Because the longer you go on without releasing those screenshots, the more time people can build up shit against you. Because that's how the internet works. The internet doesn't work off of good faith and, oh, being good Christians, all that kind of shit. No, that's not how the internet works. And unfortunately, the people that you're against know that. So you need to release the screenshots. They need to be out there for people to read as fast as they can. Anyway, that's a critique I have. Take it or leave it. But that's a problem I have. You need to set them out. They need to be out there.
With truth. Because again, I don't want this to be drama. I don't believe in Google Docs. I don't believe in screenshots or whatever. And yeah, I know about the Google Doc. Again, we'll get to the Bell thing because it's actually way more, like, entangled with mine as well. Like, it's so entangled. That document, I'm telling you right now, I want justice not only for myself, but for Belle. Because what happened to her was so unfair. I know she's here right now. Belle, I love you. Thank you so much for the support through all of this. I want you to be vindicated as well, because this is such an awful situation, and neither of us should be forced to stay silent and just take the punches like we have up until now. So, again, I will get to that stuff. I talked about beforehand, she gave me consent to talk about, like, the whole situation, because this is something we've been talking about together for a while. For a couple days now, essentially since it happened. So, I was like, hey, you know, I just wanted to set expectations for last night's collab, but nothing came out of it. Given how last night went, though, I think it was really unruly. I know my mom's handled my chatters well, but a lot of the other chats I found a little annoying and disrespectful. If we want to have combined chats in the future, I think it's beneficial to lay down mutual expectations again, like I had tried to. And then I stated...
Okay. All right. I've been drinking a lot of water today. You know, I do a lot of water drinking while I'm researching. Let me use the restroom. But apparently all the screenshots have just been given to me, and they are free for release. So when I come back from the restroom, I'm going to open them up. I'm going to be honest, this is going to detour the stream a little bit. Just a little bit. But I'll go through... If they are open for sharing, I'll go through them. All right. So I'm being told these aren't organized. That's fair. If it was last minute, that's completely fair. Okay, so these are the screenshot. Okay, this says Star King screenshots. Here, well, I guess I can show my screen while I'm scrolling through these here. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not quite sure everything I'm looking through here. I might have to scroll through some of these later. Okay, so these are just different people on the list here. Is this somebody that was banned? Or is this just another person? I have no idea. A good chunk of these are blurred. Okay. Understood. I saw Celestium in the chat, by the way. Welcome, Celestium. Coordination stuff is on top. I saw that, and I briefly looked at it before I actually ran off to use the restroom. Okay, so these are Twitch chat messages here. So that's, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is actually probably what I want to read. Me trying to bring up my concerns, followed by Star's response. Nyana replied after that, saying something along the lines of, sorry it didn't worry out for you, and sent an image of our banner art with me removed. Oh, this is actually what I wanted to see. Perfect. This is actually what I wanted to see here. This is what I'm interested in seeing here. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, okay, so these are the DMs. All right. I'm going to assume this is sometime... It doesn't have the actual date on it here. I'm going to assume that this is after the collab. Let's see. So this is Miki at 11:13. Again, I'm going to... I don't know what day this is. I believe this is the day after the collab because... I'm going to give you guys a bit of a spoiler alert right now because I'm going to have to deviate a little bit from this because... I deviate from my original plan of going through clips. Because we're going through this and I have about 2 more hours before I got to jump to my next topic here. But short answer is... And I believe it'll go through. Yeah, I do believe one of these screenshots is in here. But Miki at the end of the collab, or like the next day, says that she doesn't feel really good about this and all that kind of shit. And then afterwards, Nyana just like really quickly removes her from the banner, like really quickly, like 15 minutes or so afterwards. She removes Miki from the banner that they had worked on, and then according to Miki, they boot her from the group chat. It's the morning of the collab. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So, like, that's what ended up happening. So, the collab happens. Miki doesn't feel good about it. There's been zero communication. Nobody is talking to each other, which, again, that's a three-way market street here. But, like, I'm bothered by the fact that nobody is doing any communication, so everybody gets blamed, basically. And Miki is like, I don't know how... I don't feel good about this. She's already been like, according to her, like blasted by, at the very least, Star and Star's boyfriend. And she's not feeling very good about this. So she's like, oh, I want to walk out. Because I think some people might be like, oh, but she wanted to leave. So what's the problem? And it's just like, yeah, she did leave. But the problem is why she got to that point in the first place. If somebody has to ask, why is it a problem that she left? It's a problem because of how she felt treated and how people acted towards her. That's the problem. The problem is not the leaving, because the leaving is her choice. The leaving is why, or the problem is why she left, why it led to her leaving. Miki says, now that I've been able to eat and get some rest, I wanted to talk to you guys a bit about last night. I know my mods tried to reach out to you guys in order to set expectations for last night's collab, but nothing really came out of it. Given how last night went, though, I think chat was incredibly unruly. My mods did a great job with my chatters, but the other chats had a lot of stuff going on I personally found annoying and disrespectful. She, by the way, mentions, she kind of, and I think it's worse than this, but, like, Miki makes it sound like people were acting like young children at church that can't pay attention. I'm betting, because I know Nyana and I know her, the kind of chatters that she kind of gained from being in both phase and just like in general. I'm betting that Nyana probably had some rowdy chatters, and then probably had some chatters that needed to be silenced because they were getting a little too saucy in the chat. You know, I'm going to assume that. I could be corrected, but I'm going to assume that some of the chatters that Nyana had were inappropriately disrespectful. Could be wrong, could be right, who knows? I have not the time to look at those chats above, so I am welcome to be corrected. That was just my assumption after listening to what she said. If we want to have combined chats in the future, I think it'd be beneficial to lay down mutual expectations like my mods initially attempted to. That isn't going to work out. I prefer to maybe not have shared chat next time. Every community has different rules, sure, but 90% of the behavior I saw wouldn't fly in my streams and would be an instant ban. The problem chatters were jelly chatters. Really? That's funny. Jelly chatters are the problem. Clarified on the next screenshot. Okay, cool. Goal last night was to talk about faith, the Bible, etc., and I felt like it should have been taken more seriously. And again, that might have been Miki's goal. Might have been. When you don't set expectations for this kind of shit, everybody's going to have different ideas of what success is going to be. Because it's possible that that Star and Nyana thought that the stream was good. It's possible. But because excuse me, because there was no expectation set, nobody really knows what the other person was expecting. You know, if I'm somebody like Miki, number one, you wouldn't have done a confession stream because it sounds like she was even uncomfortable with a confession stream. But like, if I am Miki, it probably wasn't going to like, it probably wasn't going to like be like this, is basically what I'm trying to say. Which shared chat is hectic? Yes, which is why I am very hesitant to share it with some people. It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. Overall, I think I'd appreciate a little more structure when/if this is done again. I wish the confessions had been a little bit more moderated also, and I still feel terrible about the one that I had to stop you from reading Nyana. My mod team is always willing to handle stuff like that if you guys need it for collabs. They are great at moderating submission forums to avoid this kind of stuff. Anyways, that's all. I just wanted to be honest about how I felt last night, so hopefully we can improve in future terms of organization. Nyana says, if we do submissions again, your mods can look at it. I told my mod, but he's only one, and I didn't get to do live submissions. And didn't get to the live submissions. Well, again, if I'm going to belabor this point. Is it going to be annoying? Yeah, I don't give a shit. It needs to be annoying if you fucking communicated this wouldn't have been a problem. Nyana says, as for the rules, if it was my community, I'm sorry, but I don't have much rules, and I don't plan to add rules, so maybe just not share chat. Miki says, I think a lot of my concern regarding the chat came from Star's mod team. That's really hilarious. But again, I know everyone moderates differently. I don't necessarily have rules, but I felt a bit uncomfortable with the random tangents and joking that conflicted a lot with the tone of the stream. The way I operate is that mods are supposed to be role models and keep chat in line, but a lot of stuff I was seeing felt like a huge disruption. I'm not someone that is a stickler for the rules, but when I talk about my faith, I prefer at least to try and have a be more serious, I guess. I just started to feel like chat was a bunch of unruly children inside church, which made me uncomfortable, especially since a lot of it came from mods. I'm not saying we can't make jokes or have our own discussions, it just felt disrespectful to be going so far off the rails. And again, if you're having something like a confession stream, again, don't have a confession stream, but if you are, I can understand why having a serious chat would like be a big deal. But again, that's why you don't do confession streams. I will say, holy flip, Miki, you wrote a lot. You wrote a lot. Holy cow. Holy cow. Wow. Miki, you wrote a lot. Let's see here. Wait, who is this? Is that also Miki? Miki writes books? Yeah. No, yeah, that's fair. Who is this, though? It's kind of cut off there. I think that's Jelly? I think that's Jelly. Yeah, I think that's Jelly because of the... I'm looking at the bottom of this icon here. That looks different from Miki's, but I might need some clarification here. This part, please, that Star? Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, so this one is the Star DM. Star says, I understand where you're coming from, and I agree that having more structure beforehand would help a lot if we do something like this again. I just got clarification that that was definitely, Star. I do want to clarify something, though, especially since you mentioned that a lot of your concerns came from my mod team. My community and mods definitely joke around more, and that's something I'm personally okay with as long as the jokes aren't disrespectful towards God or something we're actually discussing. So I didn't realize in the moment that some of it was making you uncomfortable, and for that, again, I apologize. And again, like, listen. You can say that Miki should just grow a backbone, and Miki shouldn't just care about what goes on in chats. And you know what? I would kind of agree with you that Miki should just, like, not, like, merge chats. But guess what? A lot of this shit, all right, wouldn't be a problem, and this conversation wouldn't need to happen if there was communication from the offset. Literally, all of the problems, all right, that are going on with this, that I am seeing, and I'll belabor it again and again and again, is because nobody communicated. And it's not for a lack of trying, because at least one of them tried. But it's just like, maybe there should be expectations set. And you know how that expectation would have been set if everybody knew everybody's community and everybody fit in and all that kind of shit. And I can get mad at Miki just as much as I can at everybody else for not sampling everybody's chats and not seeing how people communicate and not seeing how stuff went on. But the same goes vice versa for everybody. Everybody is a retard for not choosing to see how everybody acts in their own fucking room. So, everybody's at fault here, all right? But, all right? But, by the same token, it is insane how everything went out. If everybody had communication, and I will say, Miki at least tries. She at least tries here to communicate. And, you know, post-stream, when it's just like, you know, maybe there wasn't good communication. And I mean, like, based off of the stream I'm seeing here, yeah, there was no good communication. And Miki acknowledges that and was, like, trying to do it before and even after. But, like, oh, sorry, my apologies. I'm going off there for a moment. But, like, I can't give the same amount of anger to Miki that I can for everyone else because she's trying. Would I have suggested more? Yeah. Check out their chats. Check out the streams. Don't accept random invites from other people who claim to be Christian that might not actually be Christian. But you know, hindsight is 20/20, and you're only allowed to make that mistake once, and this is it. But with that in mind, it is insane everything that's going on here, because it should have been that everybody knew what everybody's flavor was and everybody knew how everything worked. One person did way more to get that expectation out there and nothing happened. And if there's anything I can say about that, it should have been that you didn't participate if you didn't know the people. All right? All right? Don't participate if you don't know the people, because it fucks you over. So that's like, again, that's like one of the biggest things I can say just in general is just don't do it in the future unless you know them. But we're already past that. I'm not going to go any harder than I already have because I'll be here all night. And instead, we're just going to continue reading, and I'm going to look for other things to bash the other girls for, because the other girls are definitely just as culpable, if not worse, in my personal opinion. Miki continues on by saying, I want to clarify something, especially since you mentioned that a lot of your concerns came from me and my mod team. My community and mods definitely joke around more, and that's something I'm personally okay with. Okay, I already read that. At the same time, I don't think the differences were necessarily one-sided. There were things coming from your mod team as well that wouldn't normally be okay in my community, including your mod tech telling my boyfriend to die in a fire, along with cussing from another mod and joking along throughout the stream. Now, Miki does say in the stream, which we're not going to get to necessarily here, unless we have time, but Miki does say that the die in the fire thing is a joke because somebody mentioned, oh, we should go for a longer stream, and one of the mods said die in a fire as a joke. I don't personally, like, maybe I'm not, I'm autistic, so I don't really see how that's a joke that much, but, you know, in general, I don't think that, like, listen, if we're gonna, like, compare both chats, it sounds like there are two examples, all right, where it sounds like Miki's chat had issues. Cool. It sounds like Star's chat was a problem most of the time. So I like how Star's trying to do this, but I got these two examples of you, and Miki's like, yeah, but your whole chat was the problem. Like the other example is just like where Star is like, oh, one of your mods swore, and it's just like, okay, but your whole chat is a problem. You obviously gotta arrest them. They stole. Yeah, but you murdered that person. Yeah, but they still stole. You gotta arrest them too. That's literally what I'm hearing right now. Star is like, they committed a crime too. They committed a crime too. Just like, yeah, and I'll make sure they get their lashings. That you murdered somebody. You trying to tell me that they're on the same level as you? It's whataboutism? Yes, it's whataboutism. I'm pretty sure Star's done that more than once. She's pretty good at that, you know. Oh, goodness. Anyway, let's see here. I don't think it would be fair to hold my mods to standards that weren't communicated while overlooking similar behavior from overchats. Again, 2 messages brought up. If there are more, I have yet to see them, as I'm assuming everyone else is. That being said, now that I understand what makes you uncomfortable, I'm willing to communicate that to my mods and establish mutual boundaries beforehand. Why wasn't that done before the stream started? Why was there no communication before the stream started? I just think those expectations should apply equally to everyone involved. Again, whataboutism? Whataboutism? Well, your mods should also do the same. Bitch, come on, please. I'm not saying that I won't hold my chat to the same standards. I'm saying your chat is the problem, woman. Oh, gosh damn. Hold on.
C_V_Catullus 16 tipped $15. Thank you. You may be autistic, but it could be much worse. At least you have a reasonable control over your emotions and judgment on stream and social media without needing crazy pills.
I don't know, sometimes I feel like maybe I do need to be on crazy pills, but I'm not because I can't swallow pills. Refer to the top. Oh, we'll look at that in a moment. We'll look at that in a moment. Oh, goodness. Anyway, let's continue. Not having shared chat moving forward is fine. So instead of, I mean, to be fair, not having shared chat on is probably fair. I mean, like, again, some of us in Bestiary don't have shared chat on with each other because some of us are more Christian than the others. That's fine, you know. We just tell the one that's horny to keep his chat to himself, so that his chat can be horny with him while he's over there, but he can be like calm. But he can be calm when he's with others, but like his chat can be segregated, you know. What I'm trying to say is, like, there's nothing wrong with not having shared chat. Hit him with the Norm Macdonald. Sure, we'll hit him with the Norm Macdonald.
Now this might
we love Norm
strike
Macdonald
some
in this
viewers as
chat.
harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
Anyway, let's continue. Star also says, for moderation of the confession submissions, I think we could have one mod from each community to look over them together so each one has the same one gets approved. Since this was our first collab, there were things that we could have organized and communicated better. Now we have a better idea of what need to change if we decide to do something like this again. Now, unfortunately, I have no idea when this was sent, but if this was the last message before this message. Now, if you're like me, chat, you would say, why are the messages cut off? I'm sure that Miki... I'm not going to cause excuses. My personal opinion is if you need to grab screenshots of anything and everything, I know Miki's listening, you have to grab I can speak, I promise. If you have to grab screenshots of everything, you should try to not have unbroken screenshots so that you can see the last message to the next one, so that there's no room for error to think about whether or not they're cut off. I understand why Miki might have had them in this way, especially since she was kicked from this group chat a little while afterwards. Just something to keep in mind for the future. Do not cut off screenshots like this because it can and will call into question by people that will be critical of them, whether or not they are real or undoctored in some way, shape, or form. Again, that's just some advice, personally. That's just some advice that I would give you personally, because it's definitely something that I don't like myself. But anyway, there is a gap between this one at 1:31 and then this one. And this one is... These ones are close enough that I'm going to assume this one is around 3 p.m. Because this one is somewhat afterwards and it doesn't look like it's like too deep that it would include a new string thing. Anyway, Miki replies by saying, I'm going to be very direct here as I think it's important to establish this before we continue further. I'm not someone that believes in hiding my feelings as that only leads to larger blowups in the future. It is better to do this now, and I had hoped to be more productive conversation prior to this. I'm grateful to be invited to this group. I respect you both as individuals as well as your content. But I don't think I fit in this dynamic. I've been trying to pray a lot over the last few weeks regarding this decision, as I really wanted to work it out. Want this to work out. I love talking about God and spreading the word. I think my expectations and preferred structure are really different compared to you guys. On top of that, I'm by far the smallest one here, and I feel a bit out of place. A bit of imposter syndrome, if I'm going to be honest. I wanted to go through the collab yesterday, hoping it would ease some of my feelings and there would be... an unexpected chemistry. Again, don't do that. I just don't feel like there was. For Nyana, I'm sorry you spent the time making this group just for me to part ways, I'd be happy to privately compensate you for the art as well as the song cover. I'm sorry for making you waste your time and resources. For Star, if I'm being honest, I feel as though you've been a bit passive-aggressive with me. I'm sorry if anything I said upset you. I'm simply opening the floor to all three of us to have a conversation and set clear expectations. I'm always happy to hear feedback, but the whole having said that those expectations should apply to everyone feels a bit incredibly backhanded. My mods tried to reach out to everyone so that we could have group expectation for moderation, which you thoroughly shut down. Your boyfriend caused a big scene when my mods tried to be friendly and reach out, which caught all of us off guard. Generally speaking, most people select mods because they trust them enough to establish those baseline expectations. Excuse me. If it weren't for his behavior, maybe this could have been avoided entirely, and we could have ensured both of our boundaries were respected during the collab. Even so, some of the things he said made my mods uncomfortable. It came to my attention that they chose to ban him from my streams due to it. Oh yeah, she banned him from her streams. I'd keep him banned personally. They said he would be unbanned for collabs, but otherwise they felt uncomfortable having him around. He then proceeded to try and ask my mods about it and sent me a friend request to discuss it. I don't add people, not even my mods, generally speaking. If a mod reaches out to him was breaking your boundary, then I would expect King to try and reach out to King trying to reach out to me should also be seen as a breach of the boundary, which is true. If the mods can't reach out on one end, then him reaching out would also be a breach of that as well. And that what's really funny about that is King might be like, but I'm the husband. It's just like, yeah, but you're also a mod. And if Star is saying that only the girlies can talk to each other and the mods and husband have to sit out on that, then get back on that cuck chair, King. You made it, you built it, you set it down. You're going to sit there and Star and Miki can talk to each other and you can wait until the collab is over and have Star reach out on your behalf. It goes both ways. Or you could do the one thing that a lot of other people, I'm sure, would be okay with, and recognize that mods exist for a reason, and you shouldn't make a bitch fit when one reaches out trying to make things work. Foid versus Foid. I don't think these are Foids. Well, Star is definitely a Foid. I don't think Miki is a Foid. Because Miki, it sounds like, is actually a little bit more productive with her time. Let's see here. Let's see. You yourself told me we should handle things between us girls rather than other parties. Anyways, I stand firm on my decision and wish you two the best. I don't feel like this group is somewhere I feel comfortable nor belong. Collab chemistry felt weak and awkward as hell, and given my current feelings, I don't wish to pursue this any further. I'd rather be upfront now than later down the line when things are more established. And then Star says, thank you for your time, wishing you the best with your endeavors, no hard feelings. And then apparently after this is when they removed her from the group chat. Now, Miki says she was removed from the group chat. No idea anything. Oh, these are her DMs with Star. Oh, absolutely perfect. That's exactly something I wanted to see. Awesome. And these are her DMs with Nyana. Okay. Cool. Cool. Miki is the smart one? Yes. All right, let's jump back up to the front here. Oh, wow. A lot is being added while I'm going through this. Cool. I mean, like, normally I have a problem with, like, editing a doc after it's been written, but, like, there was literally nothing up here. So if you're adding context to some of this, okay. All I'm going to say is, number one, never expect to do this again, all right? But if you do have to do this again, don't release it and then edit it live, because it looks funny. All right, let's look at this mod chat real quick. The collab mod chat. Okay. Let's see. Who is King? Okay, so that's King. That is King right there. All right. So this is 8/18, so this was 8 days ago. I'm not calling you Tech Daddy. I'm just gonna call you Tech. Holy shit. Yo, Nim, if any of Jelly's mods are here or join, let me know, and I will add them manually to the section. Don't want to leave the section open to self-roll selection. Can you give someone named King access, please? Or King, welcome King. Hey, brother, mind if I DM you? I'm Star's partner / head of her staff. Yes, FYI, this section is just for mods, for anyone part of the Wings of Grace streamers. Hello, Nim King, nice to meet you. So you're my equiv. Okay, so yeah, Tech is the husband to Miki. I know people don't feel... It's not that I don't feel comfortable. I just think it's funny. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, the internet is weird about when you call yourself daddy. I'm still on this. This is a cluster and should not have happened. I mean, I agree, Sparky. I still think that this happened because nobody communicated. And it would be unfair to say that all sides chose not to communicate, because it looks like at least one side attempted to communicate. You know, I was definitely more on the side of all sides didn't communicate. But it looks like at the very least, somebody tried to communicate. Somebody tried to communicate and there was no reciprocation on any of that shit. So, you know, I'm the head mod, Spirit is the husband. Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's right. She even names fish. I'm sorry. That's one of the things I didn't commit to memory, but fair enough. Let's see. King says, that's actually what I wanted to chat about. Has Miki been updated with everything you guys were discussing and planning with Nim? And I'm assuming Nim is one of Star's mods. Or one of the other mods. Let's see. Miki has full visibility. King says, got it. I think it's best that for decisions of this caliber, we should leave that to Miki, Nyana, Star, as it's their group, and as excited as we are, we can't make decisions without having full approval from the three. Fully understand the intentions with having staff open communication, but having the VTubers sign off and be fully aware of everything it entails, we should hold off for the time being. Tech says it's more so to have open comms during collabs if needed outside of the stream chat. King says if the three of them chat and decide it's what they want to do, I'm on board for it. If they decide it's best to keep moderation teams separated, then we need to support that as well. What the fuck? Is that what they've decided? What the fuck? King, yes, but again, that is something we should wait for the three streamers to decide / communicate on together. With different moderation guidelines roles, there's weight to be held and discussion needed to ensure all is done right. Something that Miki, Nyana, Star got to sit down and take care of sometime before moving forward with this. Let's see here. Right now we are operating. Okay, that was all King. Let's see here. Right now, I get you, Occo, and I commend Miki for that, but should not have happened if no comms happened. It sounded like she was unsure before she... Yes, okay, and you can definitely get on Miki for not, like, doing something. And again, that's my... Listen, I don't want to belabor the point anymore, because I've already done that for, like, the past 3 or 4 hours here. But yes, should Miki have done this? No! No! There was zero communication, and Miki should not have done this. I agree. No communication means no collaboration. I agree. Guess what? This is her first and hopefully only time doing this, and she's not going to do that again. Right? Right. So, listen, I'm only going to flame her so much, and then we're just going to move on from it. Because I got way more to flame with the others, and I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to finish this tonight. If not, we'll see about resuming it on Friday. Right now, we're operating under the assumption that we will worry about chatters with the Miki logo. Normally in solo streams, we have canned message commands that we use, but in the case of shared chat, we will likely reply to any that need a reminder that have the Miki chatter badge. We don't want to step on any toes. Generally, on the Twitch side of things, we don't usually have much, if any, issue, though, when it comes to mod actions. YouTube, on the other hand, tends to be where most of the problem children are. King, yes, that is what I was told as well, and like I said, I understand and support it, but to ensure everything goes well, I'm saying that things like this should go through the streamers first. Bro, can't you just talk about moderation action? Like, okay, listen. King is a lost dog here. King is the guy that's just like, guys, we shouldn't do anything until they decide to do it. Okay, here's the problem, man. Nobody's communicating! I love how King is like... King is like, we just gotta wait for our queens. The queens gotta do it first, man. And it's just like, I understand that, all right? I understand that they decide the collab. We are talking about moderation. We're talking about how each of us moderate and how we can conjoin. If the girls want changes, we can ask them. But overall, why can't we just talk about what's normal? You wanna know what's funny? I don't talk to my mods about moderation. I tell them, this is what you moderate on. If there's more that needs to be added on, I'll tell you. But just deal, all right? Just deal. King is low IQ. Oh, that's very mean of you to say. I would never say something like that. But like, for fuck's sake, Why is King trying to be the whole, we must wait for the queens to tell us what to do. We cannot do anything until they tell us what to do. So King, do you moderate unless, without Jelly telling you to? You fucking simp. For fuck's sake, man. Dude, I would just like, if I was a mod in this situation, I'd be like, for fuck's sake, I'm not doing this. I would have quit already. I'm telling you right now. Oh, all right, let's continue. King says, I'm not necessarily focused on this alone. I'm trying to ensure that as a group, all three streamers have their personal boundaries made clear. Nobody's talking about it, it sounds like. So the sooner we give them that stage, the less chance we have of stepping on any toes. I don't disagree with the thought, but as someone that sees the groups come and go, I know the importance of making sure everyone is given room to share their thoughts. This guy is fucking insane, man. Holy shit. Oh, there's Belle in the chat. At the end of the day, the streamers are the highlights here. We're just here to... Oh, for fuck's sake. I hate this man. I don't hate the man. I hate his actions. For fuck's sake, I hate this man's actions. Such a simp. And I know he's the wife, or he's not the wife. He's acting like the wife. He's the fucking husband to the streamer. And the husband is gonna simp for his wife. I get it. I'm gonna rage quit. I'm gonna rage quit these DMs because I can't deal with this man's fucking like simpery behavior. It's just like, man, you get to go to her at the end of the day. Can you stop acting like you can't? It's like you own her. She's your wife. You belong to each other. Why do you gotta simp like this in somebody else's chat, man? I get annoyed when normal straight people do this, all right? I don't know why I said that, because I guess in my brain I thought he wasn't normally straight, but he is. But it's just like, I get annoyed when all people do this kind of simpery. It's just like, I get it. You like her, all right? And you want to respect her. I get it. But could you act any more like an iDubbbz right now? I'm sorry, I'm going off the rails. I apologize. All right, let's continue. Rex says, this is to make sure we have all the information necessary to fulfill our roles effectively. How long is this of just them trying to... Dude, are you kidding me? I'm about to revoke the no Sparky rule so that he can read with me. Holy shit. Oh. Of course, our streamers are our priority. We just want to do what we can to support them. By being in contact, we can settle moderation disputes or acquire links and resources without our streamers having to actively engage. No. My queen did not approve for the sharing of any links or assets. So I'm not going to do any of that, stalker child. All right? We are not going to do that. I'm reading ahead and I already hate him even more. Oh, for fuck's sake. Check in with Star to see how she feels about our communication. We won't overstep any boundaries she feels we should have. King, I gotta head out soon. Gotta pick up another gun before... Oh, listen. I'm a lover of the Second Amendment so much, all right? I believe that every man, woman, and child with the proper, the proper teaching and authority should have a firearm, all right? I believe it. But I get so fucking annoyed when you got somebody like this, like, oh, I gotta pick up a gun from the gun store later today, bruh. Listen, I'm above this. I gotta go exercise my Second Amendment by going to the gun store. Sir, we're in a mod chat talking about Christian VTubers here. You could just say, I'm gonna be out later today, all right? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm weird, but like, I don't need to hear this. I'm sorry. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. I spoke with Star already. She prefers to keep communication between the girls, especially regarding decisions like these that involve any staff at all. No problem, just wanted to keep communication open should the need arise. Again, I don't like this cutoff here. Don't like this cutoff here. Just saying. King, as for moderating, until the group figures out how they want to go about shared chats and shared viewers, just stick to the guidelines that we're used to. That's really what they were all saying. I'm losing my voice right now. Holy shit. I hope you guys like this. if you haven't, if you don't know, I'm going to do a stream later with the shock collar on for games. It can help shock me to reserve some of the feeling back to my body because I'm losing all of it right now. Oh, knock with the deep voice is disturbing. I know the rules vary by community. Some things that would fly in our chats may not fly elsewhere. It's a good idea to have the girls sit down and talk about what the stream rules would be for shared chats, though. So good job staying ahead of the game on that. Let's just wait and see what they end up deciding, and I'm sure we'll support them the best they can. Oh, man. Here's the problem. None of them communicated, you fucking retard. At what point? All right, because, like, listen, this is the 18th. I'm curious. When was the stream? The 20th. Okay, so this is 2 fucking days before the stream is supposed to happen. I'm going to assume at this point, everybody knows when the stream is going to happen. You are 48 hours away from the stream. 48 hours to 0 hour. And how is it that nobody can say, well, wait a minute. King, you're the husband to one of the streamers. Can you please ask them to go through this? I don't think he would have done it anyway, but I would have been like, can you please follow up with them then? Because, you know, we're kind of like 2 days from this stream going down here, and you're telling us that we're not allowed to do anything. So can you, like, you know, help push this along? You know, like get this going? You know? People say I was mean, Lamau. You are mean, Sparky. Oh, goodness. Oh, fuck, I read ahead again and I'm already gonna crash out. King also says, yeah, of course. I'll stick around so that you have direct communication to me /star. I don't really get involved with streaming decisions, but if an emergency arises, I'm always around to help. So you're telling me we have to wait until they do something, but even then, you don't even do anything. The government spies on you all the time. Do not talk about anything that you buy that might be related to the Second Amendment, because if you do so, you have no idea whether or not Discord will hand those messages off to the federal government so that they know exactly what you have. I don't tell anybody what I have, and the only people that knows what I have is myself. Right? That's it. My roommate, and my roommate is also packing, by the way, so he and I mean, both of us both know that, but nobody knows what each other has. And guess what? That's what it should be. All right? Yeah. Only a few people that would know that, like my family. But even then, don't do that. Anyway, Magic says, the only thing I'd really add is references to Nyana's corpo time. If it's shared chat, everything else we can treat as normal. Mod coordination is a good idea. You know what, Zervo boy? I agree. This mod coordination is a good idea. Too bad that King isn't helping. Let's see here. Is reading like a slow train wreck. I agree. Excuse me. Let's see. Tech replies to King saying, as for the 12 Miki mod members, Miki does give us a level of autonomy as she trusts in our ability and decisions. Goes hand in hand. King says, when it comes to group settings, the level of autonomy is different. The streamers should take the initiative for the things regarding the group, not us. The way we operate is different across all communities. Different across all communities. That's why I'm here to ensure that the girls handle their group stuff together. Neither of us should be involved because we're not in the Wings of Grace group. That's between them. Tech, let me be clear. We're not making any decisions for Wings of Grace. This is simply to facilitate communication between the mod teams for effective moderation during collaborations. We do not influence what the group does. Dude, this guy's... King is psychotic, man. All right. So that was 8/18/2359, and this is 8/19/00. King says, you reached out to staff with 2/3 of the streamer's knowledge. That is a decision. You need to let them take charge in things like these. They are the group members, not us. Tech, I've been doing this for 2 years, and this is not my first rodeo. Communication is key. I'm afforded the autonomy to reach out to other teams to facilitate communication. Magic, there is something I should talk to Miki about, actually, but it's not urgent. Tech, she's watching. As I said earlier, Miki does have full visibility in what I am doing. Miki, I'm talking to Star right now because she DM'd me and I'm reading chat trying to understand what's up. I've known Tech long enough, so I generally trust him to make decisions on my behalf. I'm sorry if this was misconstrued. From my understanding, Tech just wanted to extend a friendly hand to get to know you guys before the collab. He wasn't trying to make decisions for anyone. I'm sorry if it's how it came off that way. I don't apologize. That's not how it was going on. King is just... He's retarded! He's retarded! For fuck's sake. Don't be nice. He is retarded. He's on the short bus. He needs help with eating. I tend to be a very organized person, especially in terms of moderation. And yes, King is right. Everyone handles things differently. That's why we reached out to you guys. Personally, I don't like dealing with the moderation side of things, and I know several other streamers who feel the same. Same here. That's why I allow my mods to handle it on their own, and I understand if that's not how everyone sees it. I just want the group to go well, and I don't want there to be underlying turmoil between everyone. King, I personally have no issues or ill will. I'm just ensuring that when it comes to the group, those decisions are handled and dealt by you, Nyana, and Star. Moderation guidelines will be different for each community. That isn't an issue, but for group settings, there needs to be order of operations. Dude, you are not the guy, man. You are not the guy, all right? The guy, all right, is not you, King. He is acting like, all right, he's acting like a middle management guy that is sucking up to the manager. He's like, guys, I'm above you, all right? I'm above you, man. All right, all of you below me, just do what I say, and I get to go talk to the manager when it's time to do something, all right? When it's time to get something done, I'll ask the manager, but you guys just have to wait here, all right? I'm middle management, and you have to listen to what I have to say. And he's not actually middle management. He's in charge of the water cooler. He's not actually in charge of anything serious. The management was just like annoyed with him. They're like, oh man, he's been assistant to, well, what was it that Dwight Schrute was? He's like Dwight Schrute, where he's just like trying to pretend that he's got any power, and it's just like, no man, you're a fucking retard. Sit down, do your job. Get rid of the person that says retard in chat and shut up, all right? Problem is because he's the husband, he's got an extra level of entitlement that makes him annoying. I'm sorry. I can't. Let's see. Moderation and guidelines will be different for each community. That isn't the issue. But for group settings, there needs to be an order of operations. I wouldn't make a decision for Star that involves the group out of respect for you three. Oh, okay. So then we've got this. So, there you go. There's no communication. There's no communication! These people. By these people, I mean, I mean Jelly, her and her husband. Retarded. I hate it. After the YouTube embed is all that is left? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, and there's no more King in there. Alright. I already shared the Google Doc, but I'll share it again. Anyway, let's go back to the live stream. And I am going to jump ahead a little bit because I still need to, there's still some stuff I need to play here.
Like, Nyana, I'm sorry for...
We're coming up to the reason why, okay, so, that was a detour. I appreciate the detour, but we need to reel it back and jump back in. Now we're going to get to why... excuse me, with about an hour left, we're going to get into why Miki was put in the group in the first place. Because at this point, you're asking yourself, why would two other girls that have problems with communicating, or it seems like have problems with communicating. Now, to be fair, I don't think that Jelly and Nyana have problems communicating. I bet you they talk to each other a lot. I bet it a lot that they talk to each other. But for some reason, they can't talk to her. But you might ask, why was she invited to the group when there is no communication? Are they stupid? Well, believe it or not, there's actually a decent answer for this.
Wasting your time and resources, I'm willing to privately compensate you. But like, for me to see 5 minutes later that they just like toggled me out of the art because I was on a different layer and that they changed it, that like kind of hurt me. I was like, wow, I can't believe I even offered to like pay. Like, I thought that like we were chill, but I guess not. I don't know. And again, to like see that Star removed me as a follower everywhere and also unfollowed me despite, again, literally saying...
Oh yeah, and by the way, after this collab, they kick her out of the group, they remove her as a friend, and then they soft block her, basically. They soft block her. The stock is 109 pages. Yeah, it's because it's a bunch of pictures. Just a bunch of pictures. A lot, by the way.
Feelings. I was really upset. So now, let's go on to what I know about this situation now. So... I wanted to keep this together, essentially. And here's the question that everyone's probably asking. Why did they invite you if they were going to do this? Frosty, thank you so much for...
So that is the $1 million question. Why would they invite her if with the bad communication? Why would they invite her with all of this piss poor shit that went on? Why? Why would they do that?
For the gifted, and I have an answer to that. If you guys are probably like me. The whole time I was crying, wondering why was I invited. It's because I wasn't supposed to be invited. This is where we start getting to the big picture stuff. The entire time they've been very dodgy about how the group was made, why I was invited, and that's what gave me kind of bad feelings. Some people did notice that the day of the collab in the morning, I made a tweet about how I felt like something bad was coming, and yes, it was a post in relation to the group collab. I already had bad feelings about it. So, do you guys know Sylent Belle? If you don't know her, Sylent Belle and Jelly...
And this is where Sylent Belle gets reintroduced into the conversation. Also, this is a good song, by the way. This is one of my favorite songs that is done by this producer. His name is eluding me because my brain died right there. This is one of my favorite songs.
Stara had... Thank you so much for the gifted link, seriously. If you guys didn't know this, they had drama beforehand, where Jelly wrote a 90-page Google document on Belle. It was basically a nothing burger, where she basically was like, Belle is copying me, and I'd like to, not only am I talking about this for me, but I'm also talking about it for her, because what happened to her is unfair. So, this is where I already asked Belle for her consent to talk about things. So, essentially, here's what happened. First of all, I'm pretty sure Belle was invited to be in the group before Star even was, because from my understanding, Nyana invited Belle to the group back in October of last year. And
we're gonna go back and listen to that again.
So, this is where I already asked Belle for her consent to talk about things. So, essentially, here's what happened. First of all, I'm pretty sure Belle was invited to be in the group before Star even was, because...
I can confirm this because I talked to Sylent Belle about this. Now, I'm not going to share my messages because you know how it be. You don't share DM messages unless somebody is lying and you need to disprove their lies, or somebody is sharing something out of context, which is still technically lying, and you need to disprove the DMs that they shared out of context. So, not going to share the DMs, but I did have a conversation with Sylent Belle, and I was shown the conversations. Before all of this, Sylent Belle was invited by Nyana when she was still Anya Abyssa to be part of this group. When Anya was going to go back to being Nyana, she was planning to start a VTuber group. All right? That VTuber group was going to consist of her. And she asked Sylent Belle. She also asked Jelly Stara. Do you guys see the problem with this? Immediately. Going back really quickly. Jelly Stara, well, while this was all going on, by the way, Jelly Stara decides to come out against Sylent Belle for copying, but she wasn't. She was not. And while all of that was happening, Nyana was going to invite there's too many women in this, I'm sorry. Nyana was going to invite Sylent Belle to this VTuber group. Okay? When the Google Doc comes out against Sylent Belle, Sylent Belle is removed from this group. So, that's why this is confusing, disjointed, doesn't make any sense, because, and there's no offense when I say this, Miki wasn't supposed to be in this group. Miki is a snap replacement for the group. Originally, the person that was supposed to be part of this group was Sylent Belle. There was drama, and Nyana took Star's side, which is why I have questions for her. Because if you read that Google Doc, you can clearly tell that Star is speaking bullshit. But Nyana took Star's side by the looks of it. And I can, based off of some of the stuff I've seen, I think that she took Star's side. Okay? She took Star's side for it. She removed Sylent Belle. And then Star asked Miki, who she had just met, to join this group. Miki was a replacement. That's really sad and kind of rough to think about. And, there are times where, you can be a replacement for something and it's all right, but that's the sad truth of it. Miki was a replacement because there was drama between two of the members, and one was kicked out unceremoniously, it sounds like, and Miki was supposed to fill in the gaps. And because Star can't get her mentals under control, the exact same thing kind of happened to her, which is very depressing to think about. Very, very depressing to think about. Because, and it's not, and it's not because Star accused her of something. It's because Star and her psychotic boyfriend scared her away. And yeah, that's why we are where we are today. And you know what's sad? I'm just gonna back out of this real quickly. They're looking for more people still. They want more people to join in and jump on this road. Oh, what's kind of funny is none of these people know. None of these people know what's going on right now. And it is kind of dishonest of Nyana to not make sure that people understand why they lost a member. None of these people are being honest that there is a member missing from the group. The only people that know that Miki is no longer there is Nyana, Star, Miki and her mods and her audience, and now you guys. That's about it. That's it. And they are not being honest about that. They're not being honest that one of the members is psychotic and insane. So the chances that it's going to repeat is kind of high. It's 2 out of 2, chat. Oh goodness. Anyway, I am gonna skip here to 50. We're gonna skip now to 59 minutes. Because she basically recounts all the stuff that I had already previously recounted about the Silent Bell drama, and we're gonna jump to about here.
Of this year, and she waited until Bell took a social media fast and in July and posted it the first week.
This is stuff that I've already talked about.
Bell's social media fast. I'm not joking. Bell has proof of all of these things. It was so premeditated. So the more I find out, the more I realize it's malicious. Like, I was willing to, yeah, ads are gonna be coming in 2.5 minutes, you guys. I'm so sorry it's going to kick you guys out. But
we're gonna jump, actually. 113 here.
Someone else was hurt really bothers me. And the fact that they're not telling anybody also bothers me because I'm afraid even more people could be hurt. And it's really, really sad. And so, this whole drama made me really question. That's what I'm saying too. I'm not here to tell you guys they're evil or bad. I'm only here to express my side of the situation because I'm aware there's been a lot of speculation as to what happened and why I left. Now, here's where I'm going to specifically tell you something. I was alerted why I was crying 2 hours.
Now, this is why... Now, she's going to get into why the stream exists. Knowing this, I've changed a lot of my opinions. Yeah. Now, Miki's about to explain why she made the stream. Because, like, Miki, and, you know, you can believe or disbelieve this. When it comes to people saying that they do or do not want to say something on stream, just going to be honest with you, some people will choose not to believe you. And that's just... I kind of believe it because I know who you're going against. But just to give you a note, most people will not believe you when you say, this is why I'm making the stream. All right, just saying. Just saying. I'm not trying to be mean or whatever. I'm just trying to say. Okay? Wildfire here in Texas is coming. Well, I hope you get safe. Evacuate. Please evacuate if you need to. Anyway, Miki is about to explain why she is making the stream.
Hours before stream, I was alerted that... So we were supposed to do Bible studies every Thursday. Well, apparently, Nyana and Stara are going to have a stream this week where they are quote-unquote going to talk about Christian red and green flags.
So tomorrow, chat, don't know what time, but allegedly they're going to have a stream tomorrow. Star and Nyana are going to have a stream about red and green flags for different Christians.
And knowing things...
Isn't that timely? Isn't that timely? Now, this could be like, could have nothing to do with Miki, to be fair. Could have nothing to do with her. But it is kind of timely that they are doing a stream on red and green flags for different Christians right after this and months after Star gets into this insane kind of drama. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, Star is the last woman on this earth that should be making a stream on red and green flags. All right? The last person. Now, this stream probably... It could still happen. It could not happen because this is all coming out. Who knows? But like, if this stream happens, that is absolutely fucking insane. And I'd be interested to see who they are, what they specifically list as red flags.
I know I am not here to cast stones, but I have a terrible feeling they are going to try to say things about me that are not true. And specifically,
could happen, it could not happen, but it's definitely worth it, knowing that it could happen.
The schedule is posted in Star's Discord.
Oh, by the way, do you want to know where all of this information is? In Star's Discord. You know, Star doesn't post anything to Twitter. To be honest, neither do I. Or her YouTube. So the only way you would know this is if you're in her Discord. Which means that that's the only way you can figure out what Star is doing. Star and Nyana are grifting. I wouldn't say that Nyana is necessarily grifting. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I don't know. That's up to you to form your own opinion. I think Star is definitely like Christian. And I mean, all these three girls are Christian. I guess it depends on how you want to look at it. I guess I don't know.
But considering the timing, now remember, I was kicked out. Neither of them have told me or like told anybody I was kicked out. When they made the post, a lot of people were under the impression they were looking for a fourth girl to join. The only people that knew I wasn't in the group are people that like dug and saw I was removed or came to my streams and I told everyone that I decided to leave. And so I am incredibly concerned. And so when I found out about this, I started crying because I never intended to talk about this situation. I'm 26 years old. I am too old for this like high school mean girl drama. I was very hurt by what happened to me. I was very hurt by what happened to Belle. But we were talking with one another. And we both had agreed, we both really want to say something about this situation, but we also don't want to cause unnecessary drama. Yeah, it feels like high school drama, exactly. And so we weren't going to say anything. Because like I told you, the Google Doc was written by Jelly Stara in March, but she waited until Belle went on a social media break in July to post it. She literally had the doc written for like 3 to 4 months before posting it, which comes off as incredibly malicious. And so Belle and I had a heart-to-heart, and she's like, Miki, like, I'm not trying to scare you or make you feel bad, but, like, there is a possibility they could try to say mean things about you like they did to me. And, I was like, yeah, Silent Belle. She's here in chat. She's wonderful. Go show her some love.
So yeah, that's why she wanted to do this stream. She wants to get above what she thinks is 2 streamers that are going to attack her. Will they do it? I don't know. This stream has yet to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm going to be honest. Part of me wanted to wait. The other part of me was like, well, this is Wednesday's topic. But like, there is a chance that this could happen tomorrow. Tech in chat says, in my DM with Magic, Nyana's admin, he even says he thinks that this is a phase and will fizzle out. Damn. It's very, very low confidence for Magic there. Oh, man. That's very sad, personally. I don't know. What is it with women and saying statements as if they're asking questions? I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to skip to the last timestamp that I'm going to show tonight. And then we're going to jump into the reply. Because Star replied to this while the stream was happening. Now we're going to jump to about there. And she has weird toggles, by the way. I'm sorry, Miki, but some of your toggles are weird. Just saying. It's personal opinion. But this is where she gets a note that Star said something.
Star already posted a Google Drive on me, so I guess, like I told you guys, I'll post mine, but I still have peace about the situation.
All right. So, during this stream that happened, Star posted a Google Drive. Here's a Google Drive. Here's the Google Drive, chat. And we're gonna go through it. But before we go through it, this came from Jelly's server. Is Silent Belle a Nort? I don't know what that means. Miki went live 20 minutes ago and Star went live an hour ago. It's just Jelly. I'm curious, actually. Oh, she is streaming right now, yes. She is. That's funny. Anyway, we're gonna read this now so that you guys, just gonna read it. And I believe this was posted the same day as this stream, which was 2 days ago. So these are from 2 days ago. Hi everyone, I didn't think I'd have to make this announcement, but Miki has decided to speak publicly on the matter, and I thought it only fair to share my side. Wanted to clarify that no, Miki has not spoken to me directly since she left. Well, it sounds like you removed her from stuff, so she wouldn't have the chance to do so, which is funny, because that's exactly why Jelly got mad at Silent Bell for. Let's see. But is instead taking it upon herself to air out private matters on live after having a private conversation with Bell. Oh, I'm actually not done showing screenshots here real quick. Hold on. So, she claims that Silent Bell, well, she'll claim in here that she had a silent conversation with Silent Bell. They did have a private conversation. However, the private conversation happened after all of this went down. After. Okay? So, Jelly, it sounds like it's making the claim that Silent Bell is trying to orchestrate her downfall because Jelly Stara is insane. And so, that's not true. The DMs with Silent Bell, between Miki and Silent Bell, happened after all of this shit happened, if that makes sense. So, just putting that out there. Let me set the record straight. Not in a whole document this time, but briefly summed up with pictures. That's really funny for her to say. She does have a lot of pictures. A lot of pictures. We'll go through some of these pictures. What is this? Ah, yeah. See, what's funny about this is she's like, oh, this is proof. This is proof! This is proof! Alright? This is proof that Silent Bell is trying to hurt me! This is proof that Silent Bell is going after me and trying to harm me. No, this is probably Silent Bell thinking to herself, man, I can't believe another person got hurt by that other individual. It's women doing women things, alright? They're fuck, what's it called? They're big posting, alright? I first came into contact with Miki via Instagram when she reached out to me, not the other way around, as she described. We had a brief conversation before adding each other on Discord. At the time, I was invited to be in a group with Nyana and Bell. At the time, I didn't know that Bell was included. I was just reached out to by Nyana. We didn't move forward with it because Bell refused to apologize to me. That's not true. You kicked her out. Well, I guess that would be afterwards, but you kicked her out. What does Bell need to apologize to you for, Jelly, you should be the one apologizing to Bell. You are the liar, you are the retard, and you are the one that needs to get off of the internet. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna hold to anybody's sensibilities here. Jelly is the one that needs to apologize because she's the one that's lying, and she's the one who wrote the schizoid Google Doc. And anybody that thinks otherwise is just as stupid as she is. I'm sorry. After Nyana asking if she could, meaning we weren't going to be good collaborative partners, I didn't ask anyone to leave or be replaced. I was just asked if I knew anyone else, and Miki was the only other VTuber that I had contact with at the time. That's not true. I know you had contact with a couple other ones. She was just the only one that was unknowing of your drama. When we were looking for a third member, I didn't know Miki well, but since she'd recently reached out, I decided to invite her to the group and get to know her through DMs. I figured that with time we could get to know each other, and I didn't think much more of it. That's retarded. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's retarded. As the group progressed, everything was fine until her head mod came into my server, messaged multiple members of my staff without me knowing, and invited them to Discord, which is against my server rules. Again, with the stealing members thing. She's gonna be like, he was stealing my members! He was trying to steal my mods away from me! Fucking hell, man. Listen, when there's zero communication, I can't imagine why he would try and reach out, okay? As the group progressed, let's see, I already read that. Thank you, Catellis.
C_V_Catellis 16 tipped $5.
And I'm sure that Jelly does too.
I am unfortunately logging out for the night since my brain is shutting down. Have a good night and God bless you. Don't forget to pray for Jelly Stara.
Yeah, well, everybody pray for Jelly that she can come to her sensibilities, because she definitely needs to. I'm sorry, she 100% definitely needs to. This confounds me. Oh, you first time, man. Oh man. Let's see. King joined the server so that he could reach out to the head mod, where he said that although he thinks the idea is good, the group members should be making the main decisions unanimously, not the mods. But you weren't making choices. That's the problem. No choices were being made, you fucking void. Her head mod then decided to go back and forth and argue with King. Both of them were respectful. Nobody blew up disrespectfully. No, King was retarded. And King mentioned multiple times that he does think the decision was good, but there should be guidelines to avoid future issues as a group. Yeah, but he didn't make any. I messaged Miki basically saying that I was not comfortable with her mods making decisions without us knowing, but she understood and we continued getting ready for the collaboration. But again, what did you do to prep for the collaboration? Nothing! Collab happened. I thought things were okay. After the stream ended, I messaged everyone in the group to say they did a great job, but Miki didn't reply. Following morning, she said she needed to talk about some things and sent a long message, which ultimately boiled down to her blaming my mods for the stream being uncomfortable. Again, if you coordinated, this would not have happened. Ah! Not big on VTuber drama. This caught my attention. I'm glad that you're here. Just letting you know. I'm just letting you know, though. VTuber drama is my main thing. Appreciate you, though. What are the mods good for, then? To look good only? I guess so. I mean, one of them is her husband, so... You know, I guess Jelly wants one to look good, at least. I responded to her, apologized, and let her know about some of the things that happened from her staff side, which she perceived as an attack. For context, her head mod told King to die in a fire. She then went on to say that she wanted to leave the group and that she stands firm in her decision. Nyana and I wished her well and removed her from the group. At least they admit that they removed her from the group. Around the same time, Miki left the group. Belle and her mod decided to post vague tweets regarding the situation, involving themselves in it. I followed Miki when I saw that she had recently followed Belle, who was throwing jabs at the situation because I did not want to be involved with them. We all know what happened there, and I do not want it to be bothered with any further. She had a problem with me. I would have appreciated it if she communicated with me directly, as I still have her added as a friend on Discord. That's interesting. I did not know that. Did you attempt to reach out to her then? Because it looks like there was no attempts. I would ask why Miki didn't reach out to you, but like, there was no attempts for you to reach out. What's most disappointing about this situation is I have done my best to be nothing but kind to Miki by offering her help and advice, and all I have been, and have never once been intentionally malicious towards her. So seeing her and Belle teaming up to taint my name is especially disheartening. I haven't given her any reason to feel like she couldn't talk to me, and I would have been more willing to have a private and respectful conversation with her. She had reached out. Everything mentioned is provided in the Google Drive. Also, this isn't an attack to anyone. We aren't looking to fight. We genuinely do not care for this type of Discordian drama. Yeah, but you aren't willing to talk to people, so I don't know what you expect, my mansky. All right, let's go through this. Oh my gosh, evil Silent Bell. I don't know who Darth Sauron is, but... oh. Who's the main locale? Definitely Jelly Stara. I love this. She's recording that Silent Bell joined the server. That is hilarious. That is amazing. Holy fuck. This is her message with Miki. Okay. Oh, man. This is great, man. This is fantastic. This is girls talking about girl stuff. Cool. And quoting scriptures. All right, cool. Oh, wait, whoa. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I don't know who Crowned by the King is, but this is one. I'm assuming this is one of Jelly's mods. Better fate than being around. What? Why are you blocking out Nyana's... Wait, you're blocking out your own stuff? Oh no, you're blocking out Nyana's messages. Why are you blocking out Nyana's messages? Oh, that's hilarious. Also, okay. So this is Miki's message. This is Star's message. Then this is Nyana saying, I'm sad you're leaving, but can you understand? I understand if you feel uncomfortable. And then Nyana is asking, can you change the logo? They're already asking to change the logo. That's amazing. Crowned by King is in fact King. Okay. These are the messages with Miki. Okay. This is amazing. Okay, these are all her DMs. I don't really care. Oh, so you're just gonna show a scroll of them? Oh, okay. Yeah. Die in a fire. You die in a fire was in response to, by the way, the 12-hour stream. So, like, oh no. Oh no. This woman is psychotic, man. This woman is fucking psychotic. Holy shit. The Miki and Jelly DMs are in the screenshot doc. I figured. Those are down here. Yep, right here. Some of them, at least. Oh, yep. Yeah, right here. Holy cow. A Diana enjoyer? I know, right? All right. So. I've reached what I believe to be the apex of all of this. We probably would have watched more of the stream, but like those, that sidestep did really good. And I appreciate that. Now, Miki has said, she told me that she kind of just wants to move past this. I did tell her, yeah, moving past this is probably a good idea, especially if you don't want to prolong this. You should be prepared, though, for Jelly, and hopefully not, but you should be prepared for potentially Nyana to prolong this drama themselves, because that is what Jelly seems to do. Sorry for the derailment. No, it's fine. But let me give my closing thoughts on this. Jelly is incapable of taking responsibility for anything. 100%. Now, if you want me to talk about what I dislike about everything, the lack of communication from everybody, all right? Let's make it clear. All 3 girls sucked at communication. Let's never have that happen again. Let's hope that that never happens again, all right? Because that was bad. Now, I will say, this group should have never happened because in a world that's normal, Miki wouldn't have been a consideration. What should have happened is Jelly should have not written that schizoid Google Doc, and Nyana should have recognized that what was being done was a schizoid Google Doc, and you know, there's a whole lot that should have happened where Miki was never involved. But like, the lack of communication from everybody is a major problem. Major problem. With that in mind, Jelly is psychotic as fuck. Her boyfriend is psychotic as fuck. And they need to rein in their quote unquote personal problems, because this is too much. It was way too much, and none of this should have gotten to this point. I think Jelly needs to take time off of the internet and get things fixed, and I think her husband needs to be evaluated as well. I'm sorry. Seems it's a bad idea making your boyfriend, girlfriend a mod time and time again stirs things up. Yeah, I would say so. Don't let them do that. Either trust that other people can do it, or your boyfriend, girlfriend doesn't need to be involved at all. Yeah. Now, that's my thoughts. All of this for a nothing burger. Jelly and her husband need therapy. I would agree. I would agree. But it's done now, I guess. I'm not of the opinion that it's done until like my number one concern is like seeing that other girls are involved. I hope not. Genuinely, I hope not. But I do worry that that's going to happen, because literally there are people being asked by Nyana, and I'm going to be honest with you. I am really disappointed in her. Like, I really tried to see the best in her in this, but I'm extremely disappointed in her. The fact that Nyana, who should understand, she should understand, because she's been in this realm. She's been in the phase realm, so she knows how people are, how people act, all that kind of shit. The fact that she actively is standing next to somebody who is acting like that and is trying to hold water for her, she should know that Star is in the wrong. She should know that Star is being psychotic and retarded. Either she has not read that Google Doc, or she is herself also unknowing to the retardation of this. And I'm extremely disappointed in her, because she should know better. She knows, because, again, she's around the face people, so she should know how damaging it is when stupid Google Docs come out against people. She should know. And I'm just disappointed in her. I thought higher of her, and I know a lot of other people thought higher of her, which is why everybody was so sympathetic to her. And I am still sympathetic to her. I am sympathetic to what she went through, and I am sympathetic to her as an individual. What I will not be sympathetic towards is her trying to pass off this behavior, because it is wrong. And I think that she is wrong for letting it move on. So, you know, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit, and I think that she really needs to think about the partner that she has let in, because this partner is a problem. Major problem. Nyana's already trying to worm her way into more girls' DMs. I can tell you this, and it's not me who's doing it. I don't really condone people trying to ruin business opportunities or whatever. But their VTuber, if she does that, people are going to speak up. So you cannot have the person that you have that is Jelly Stara in your group and then expect that nobody's going to speak up and say, well, hang on a moment. It's one thing to be mentally unwell and another to be mentally unwell and hurting others. Yes, I agree. So I just think that Nyana really needs to be careful because this is a problem that is going to get worse. I'm disappointed that people involved are hypocrites while preaching the Bible and trying to play it off like nothing happened. Yeah. Yep. It is kind of sad. Really sad. Because guess what? All of this could have been resolved if there was any communication. Not one modicum of communication would have fixed this. Hey, how those rats have to have a stand of truth and she's acting like this? I hope not. I'm going to be honest with you. I was really sad when I saw what happened to her in Face Connect. And I wondered what was going on with Face Connect. I think a lot of people were like upset with Face Connect. A lot of people. And now I'm wondering if I was wrong. Because of how Nyana's acting, I'm wondering if I was wrong. And I hate that I have to say that. Because I do think there is something that happened. But I'm just upset with this because I thought higher. So I apologize. That's really dumb. Maybe gay of me to say. That's just... yeah.